Wrestling fans around the around the world, welcome to the snowy Super Bowl Sunday edition of Wrestling Insiders Sunday Night Live. I'm Dan Morati here at MWF Studios in a, again, snowy downtown Melrose, Massachusetts, in the zip code of Champion 02176. There's a lot of zeros at City Hall, but that's a different story for a different time. I know Charlie Wilson is en route. He will be with us soon for the watch along. I don't want to call him and bother him while he's driving, as the roads could be hellacious for all we know. But I am here. John C. Manicus Riley came down a little early to help me with the set so I didn't have to do everything myself. We got some Canucks in the room. But what I want to know is, for those that are watching the Super Bowl, who do you got, the Rams or the Bengals? I had a long talk with one of our featured superstars that we haven't announced yet for the Back to the 80s celebration. In just under 9 weeks, we're 62 nights away from going back to the 80s at Memorial Hall Saturday night, April the 16th. He says Bengals 27-24. What do you guys think? Matt, we haven't got a lot of snow. I'd say enough to be just maybe a minor irritation. What would you say, C? 2 inches maybe? Maybe 2 inches. C doesn't even think that much. Not as much as C's here. But we are going to be watching along. We're going to be going back in time to the Attitude Era for the St. Valentine's Day Massacre in February of 1999. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vinnie Mac lighted up inside a 15-foot-high steel cage. I'm just checking my phone to see if we hear from Charlie. $20 for a beer, Tom? Well, it is the Super Bowl, right? I remember the WrestleMania in Dallas. I think it was 11 or 12. And some of the prices for mixed drinks at this year's WrestleMania in Tampa, the little Morati couldn't believe it. It was, some of them were over 20 bucks. I mean, they figure when they get you, they get you. They know you're going to spend the money. You're hopefully feeling good, hopefully feeling a little loose. But we're going to have some fun tonight with St. Valentine's Day Massacre. A lot of friends, a lot of alumni here in the world of Boston Wrestling. MWF partook in this, I wouldn't call it extreme event, but there was a lot of hardcore action. You know, The Rock and Mankind was a brutal match. I won't get into what happened in the hardcore match. If Quincy was here, he'd probably have an orgasm. For those of you that are fans of Quincy, it's not 100% official, but I'd say probably with 75% certainty that we will have Quincy's Wrestling Challenge live this Thursday night at 7 p.m. Something for you to look forward to, along with the Berzerker John Nord's latest episode Thursday at 10 p.m. Thursday is a fun night, but Quincy is almost going to be like the baseball season. For those that don't know much of him, where he's kind of new to the show, he rides a 1978 Honda-Matic motorcycle. So this time of year, he really can't ride a bike. So Quincy will usually get full-time from April until about Thanksgiving or so. And other than that, his visits are sporadic. But, well, that remains to be seen. So the link for In Your House St. Valentine's Day Massacre should be in the description box below. It should be up top in the Premier Chat. T-shirts are 45 bucks, Tom. Wow, like I said, when they get you in there, they get you in there. But I'm dumb enough. I would have got it for the kid, even though he said Bengals too, so I don't know. You know what? I may have to ask John C., maybe just to make life easier. Can you come out and hit the big button, John C.? I know a lot of fans are waiting. I am hungry. I'm very, 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 very hungry. But I said, the hell with the Super Bowl. We got Sunday Night Live here in the world of Boston Wrestling, MWF. We got to talk about Hacksaw Jim Duggan. We got to talk about Jake the Snake Roberts. We got to talk about John C. Manicus Riley. The do is, it's wild today. All right, folks, so you know how we do it, so we don't delay too much. Go into WWE Network on Peacock, or however you watch it. Type St. Valentine's Day Massacre. It is the only one. A screenshot should come up of The Rock shortly after he had surgery to have his breasts removed. True story. And then you click the button that says watch now. So we go 3, 2, 1, clicks. We're all going to do it together. I feel like we're in elementary school, but I want everybody to try and be on the same page when we do it. So are you ready, John C? All right, baby. In 3, 2, 1, click. Not to be confused with Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Sean Waltman, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. And we're getting a big circle. Yeah, there we go. TV 14, baby. It's at its best. Little attitude. Who misses the attitude era? I just wish it had some edge. It doesn't have to be attitude, but we'll talk about that as the show goes on. We have a little Stone Cold and Vince opening montage here. What a history they had. Even though they had a little battle on Raw in April of 1998, which was the night that Raw overtook Nitro in the ratings for the very first time since 1996. And a brawl in the Royal Rumble. This was kind of their first official match tonight that at least had a little longevity to it. But what a feud. It certainly changed the course of WWF's history, because things weren't looking so good with Nitro at that point. But we've got the Ministry of Darkness there, the Undertaker, Edge. Oh, they got a little, I don't know what the hell this is, but Mankind and Rock, a month after their brutal match at the Royal Rumble that was featured in Beyond the Mat. They have a rematch tonight. I don't even remember. Oh, my God. Mark Henry in China. But this is a nice, I miss these. Even these montages are better than Raw and SmackDown nowadays. It's actually making me interested in watching the event. Are you watching it in the other room, John C? Is that a thumbs up? All right, good. John C. Manicus Riley is very new to the world of wrestling. I don't know if he's seen an Attitude Era pay-per-view yet, but he's in for a treat. 15-foot-high steel cage in the main event. I like how they painted it black instead of that ugly blue color that they used for the Hogan cage, so to speak. How old would Vinnie Mac have been in this match? Let's see. He's what, 70, 75, 76 now? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We got a text from Charlie. Sorry, everyone. I was out, but felt uncomfortable on the roads. I didn't want to attend. I swerved on a turn and almost hit someone, so I went back home. Apologies again, and I hope you have a good Sunday night watch-along. Well, John C., we have breaking news. Ryan, everybody is, it's snowing as we speak right now here in Boston. We were expecting Charlie. I know Phil had a Super Bowl party and a half that he was throwing tonight for all of his guests. I would have loved to attend it, but I wasn't invited, but that's a different story for a different time. But we are getting ready for some attitude, baby. This was the time when Jim Ross was out of action due to Bell's palsy. He came back looking really rough when Vince Russo attempted to turn him heel shortly after this pay-per-view. There he is, Goldust, back as Goldust, not the artist formerly known as Goldust. Another Boston Wrestling MWF alumni. A lot we could talk about Goldust. Left a little DNA when he was with us. Long before John C. Manicus Riley was here. So I really do look very lonely and unloved and unwanted. And I'm starving and I'm hungry. Maybe I should respond to him. Big, how are you, buddy? I hope you're doing good tonight. Well, hopefully Charlie can at least join us in the chat. I just sent him a text message. You really think Goldust was world champion material, Rise? I think Intercontinental was about the cap. And I was a fan of his. The business interactions we had with him later in his career were meant for the book. I got a little snow in Michigan, getting about 5 inches, huh? Well, luckily we're not getting that much. I know John C. is furious right about now. He's whipping things in the control room. Calm down. Oh, wait a minute. It's Blue Dust, otherwise known as the Blue Meanie. Looks like someone that would walk into the studio on a Wednesday, doesn't it, John C.? Oh, I tell you, they come in all creeds and colors in this place. Jax, how are you, my friend? Yes, rest in peace, New Jack. He passed away last May. It's unfortunate we weren't able to do more with him than we did. He was slated to come back. Oh, my dear God. He was slated to come back in June for 2 full days of tapings. Imagine the content we would have recorded over 2 days with what we got out of 1. Tom, have you ever been to the stadium in Los Angeles before? I'm looking forward to going to LA as well. A lot of people forget the Blue Meanie had well, I don't even, how long was he around? For a little over a year, I'd say. Not exactly what I'd refer to as something as a standout wrestling match, but you know, that's why they call it sports entertainment, I guess. Are you entertained by this, John C.? You're confused by well, he was trying to mimic Goldust, who he was kind of the manager of. All right. It's almost mockery. You know, you're welcome to come over here to the big seat if you want, John. Oh, I thought you were moving one. Well, fans, I'm very happy to be joined by John C. Manicus Riley, one of the infamous Manicuses we have. Blue Dust is in rough shape early on. And Goldust had some shattered dreams ever since he said I do to Terry, but that's a different story for a different time. Blue Meanie, he wound up with a few porn stars. What was the name of that one that he was with for a long time? She had the brownish hair. Jasmine St. Clair, is that it? I know no one in this room would ever watch anything like that, but I'm going to Google it. Let me see. I think that's what it was. Believe it or not, the blue guy, John C., was with one of the more famous porn stars for a while. Of the day? Of the day, yeah. I think it was Jasmine St. Clair. Because he went back to ECW after he was released. Yeah, Jasmine St. Clair. Yeah, a little old now, but, I mean, he did all right for himself.
Did they get in any legal trouble with the Beatles?
With the Beatles?
Yeah, wasn't there a character in Yellow Submarine called the Blue Meanie?
A little before my time, believe it or not. Eric Smith, how are you, my friend? Yeah, it was Jasmine St. Clair. Yep, she had that little run in ECW. I'm sure it wasn't the first time she got extreme, but...
Oh, Phil's here.
Phil, Blue Meanie was with Jenna Jameson, too? That I did not know. What time does the Super Bowl begin? Is it 6:30 or... I don't know, see, do you?
Well, we'll know when the views start coming down.
You think? I think there's a lot of wrestling fans that have no interest in the Super Bowl. Baby. Everybody loves Annie. Maybe she could have come out in this one as ass dust.
Brown dust.
Just started, okay. All right, well, whether you're watching the Super Bowl, oh my dear God. Cover your eyes, children. Stick a fork in the blue dust. Look, oh my God. We're talking about poor Annie with that on the screen. And our old friend Teddy Long was the referee for this match. Shame that Goldust had so many problems with the drugs and the alcohol over the years. What a great talent. What a really, huh?
You had a problem with the white dust?
Lots of dust. But I mean, funny guy. I would have loved to have had him in the studio. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. He's really going to be feeling blue down there, but that's a different story for a different time. Big victory for Goldust as the road to WrestleMania 15, I guess, technically begins here. Tonight in, where the hell are they on this one? You got Cincinnati, Brian? Oh, wait a minute. Sunday Night Heat back when that was a watchable show. I didn't even remember Shawn Michaels was there for that one. Who do you got tonight, Phil? You're a man of reason. Do you got the Bengals or the Rams? Is Big Jim Dotson on the gas, the security guard? I thought Heat Wave 98 was a tremendous, tremendous event, Jax. This was right around a year after their match at WrestleMania 14 right here in Boston, John C., where Mike Tyson was the referee. Stone Cold spit on, Vince spit on Stone Cold. I wouldn't have put this on Heat, but that's just my opinion. I know. Oh, they're at Memphis at the Pyramid. Okay. What did you say?
Do you think it's too big or too small?
What is?
You said you wouldn't put it on.
I wouldn't have put that angle on the show they had right that night. They used to have a show at 7 p.m. as the lead into the pay-per-views called Sunday Night Heat. That was too big of a moment, but how excited would Quincy be right now?
Oh, boy.
If Quincy had the internet, I'd tell him to tune in, but you know how that goes.
Does he have the internet?
No. Well, you know, I think Patera Rastani does.
In this day and age, you might as well.
I don't think Velvet Sky was ever in ECW big. I knew her very young in her career, and I don't think she ever made it there. She was known as Talia until she went to TNA. And you know who that referee is right there?
No, I didn't catch it.
I mean, it's a man you actually know quite well, Mark Dustin.
Really?
Yes.
Like real?
Yeah. And then there he is, Hardcore Bob Holly, another competed at Memorial Hall right here in Melrose. Longtime friend of the show in Boston wrestling. So we got three friends involved in this match. Snow, Holly, and Mark Dustin.
Are you joking?
The Hall of Famer. Would I joke?
I don't know.
Well, is that not him?
I have to see his face.
Yes, Brian, good memory. Long before Sunday Night Heat, they did what was called the free-for-all. And sometimes they'd give you a decent match to try and get you to buy the pay-per-view.
Already going for the chairs.
Well, the Attitude Era was a different time, John C. No, AEW does not remind me of ECW, Jax. Does it remind you of ECW? I'll throw it back to you, brother. Pass the baton. Mark Dustin, he did get a pretty good jump over the guardrail. I seen an 8x10 of her with a collar and a leash with Jasmine Sinclair and a guy in a suit. Big, who are you talking about? Velvet Sky? I tell you, Al has been here in this studio before. Mark Dustin is here often, but I'd love to see Hardcore Holly here in MWF Studios. You talk about just a blunt, honest man. He's got one of the better wrestling books you'll find on Amazon or however you get books. I know our Barnes & Noble just closed down in Saugus. Did you know that, John C?
I went there
Were there good deals?
Yeah, everything in the store was like 20% off.
That's not a great deal. Yes, Matt, that was the free-for-all for SummerSlam 96.
It's already like one of the cheapest places to get books.
Compared to even something like Amazon?
Sometimes.
Really? I am absolutely starving, John C.
Me too. I wouldn't dare get something delivered.
Why?
The weather.
Well, that's what they're in the business for, are they not? They were trying to blade with The Rock, Brian, huh? Rise? No, Impact Wrestling does not remind me of ECW, but I'll say this, I haven't seen Impact Wrestling since it probably left Spike TV, and I know it's been on several TV channels since. And that's a shame, where our friend D'Lo Brown, who we've seen on Wrestling Insider Special Edition and will continue to see, is the head of talent relations. You know, we have some ideas we'd like to do with Impact, with our live events, and I guess I'll leave it at that. Who is your favorite wrestler in the era? Yeah, I got to say Steve Austin, Jax. Who is your favorite? Did you have a favorite wrestler in the Attitude Era?
One, I wasn't alive. Two,
Yeah. What year were you born, John C?
01.
What month?
June.
It was done. When the bell rang at WrestleMania 17, as I like to say. All right, who else are we...
I've seen that.
Oh, that's right. You say you tuned into WrestleMania 17 on, I don't know where you watched it, but
Peacock.
what, did you use my login?
No, I have my own.
Oh, why don't you just use mine?
'Cause I get it with Comcast.
Free?
Think so? I don't know.
Oh, maybe I pay because I get WWE Network. What did you think of the Rumble? Are you talking about this year's Rumble, Norman? The Rock is on the Super Bowl right now.
Is it?
Do you smell what he's cooking? What's he whoring out now? Should be thanking WWE for letting him out of his contract to go make movies. Viscera? You were a Viscera fan, Jax. Huh. I wasn't a fan professionally and definitely wasn't a fan personally, which is a shame. But we got a lot of big things happening in Boston wrestling. I don't know how many of you guys heard the news this week about the Jake the Snake Roberts snake bite incident. The latest knife in the back from Jake and his daughter. And then, of all the people who came to our rescue, someone that just had cancer surgery. Only in Boston wrestling, John C., as you get to know these crazy personalities. And what is a crazy match between Bob Holly and Al Snow.
Yeah, they're outside
And this is February.
in Memphis. It's not that cold.
It's not that warm. You know, Norman, I actually was a much bigger fan of the Royal Rumble than most people were. I actually liked it. It held my attention. I was never really bored with it. I wasn't a big fan of the men's Rumble match. Most people that know my thoughts on women's wrestling were shocked when I said I liked the female Rumble better than the men's Rumble. But yeah, I enjoyed it a great deal. Did we not do a watch along for the Rumble?
No?
Where the hell were we?
Was that when Dutch was supposed to be here?
No, yes, but I think that's when we had the big snowstorm. So
Yeah.
that's right. That was the one day I was housebound and I had to watch it at home. So we didn't even do a Rumble watch along. Rock is there because I want you to watch Young Rock. Thurman Sparky plug, yeah. Well, Bob certainly came a long way. The hardcore Holly gimmick, believe me, fits his personality much more than... Well, you know, he's a race car aficionado, so I can't say it was a horrible thing for him, but
Choking him with barbed wire?
it was extreme. It was hardcore. It had attitude. Do you like this better than what you've seen recently in WWE? On some of the live ones, John C.
Like the new ones?
Yeah.
I haven't seen many of the newer
Oh, all right.
But yeah, it's definitely. It looks like it was really just there.
You got a good memory, Matt. Yeah, you're right. We were snowed in. It was lousy. Rise, no. Viscera was never going to get the title. Never going. Not with Bill Watts there.
You gonna go in the river?
You think I'm going to spoil it for you? Could you see Quincy and Reno in a match like this? Trying to settle their differences over by El Pond.
They'd end up in the tunnel somehow.
A true story at Memorial Hall. Hardcore Holly was having a little fun with Quincy, and they got into a screaming match in the locker room about Al, with Quincy defending Al. Holly was saying that Al was a piece of shit and he was no good, and Quincy went nuts. Twitching, bobbing his head sideways. This is a hardcore match. Everything is legal, including choking the man out. You know what I'd like to ask these guys? What did they get for a payday for this?
Nope.
They're in the Mississippi River. It's 40 degrees out.
They're going from W to K.
John was just saying how warm it was there in
Trying to drown him.
40-degree weather.
Well, they're moving around.
You should see the match Al had with a guy named Road Dogg in Worcester in the middle of a snowstorm. That would have been late 90, a couple months before this.
Do they leave the venue?
Oh, yeah, they go outside in the snow. It was great.
Is Al Snow involved?
It was Al against a guy named Road Dogg, yeah.
Oh, so it's home turf for Al.
Al was hardcore. I wonder if they did a run through of this, or if they just went out there and... See, this is why, fans, I keep telling you, those Super Chats help an awful lot. Joining the Patreon helps an awful lot. Getting the autographed pictures helps an awful lot, like when we have the Berzerker next Sunday and Monday with us. What more can I say? The more help you guys give us, the more superstars we can bring to the studio to share their stories. Yes, I do remember the dog Pepper Rise. They wound up taking a page out of Mr. Fuji's book with the Big Boss Man cooking Pepper.
So by a run through, do you mean practice run, or?
Just kind of almost like on a movie set, so they know what's what and where is where. And
I think so, because those boards that Holly smashed over Snow's head, there's like 3 of them.
And I got to say, kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
The lighting isn't great.
Mississippi River can be kind of gross.
Yeah, I mean, they could slip on something, and yeah, WCW could be crazy back in that era too, Jax, but the Attitude Era was something different. Now, how can Al kick out being wrapped in a fence? Was that the best hardcore? Ryan, I remember it so well because I was there. That day, when I worked for the Boston Bad Boy Tony Rumble in the Century Wrestling Alliance / NWA New England, we would do, on school vacation week, triple headers, 3 events in one day, to try and stockpile footage. And I was the ring announcer at that point, as the ring announcer had departed. And I remember we raced to get to Worcester in the snow for the event. But that was the night that the Road Dogg Al Snow match was the night that Mick Foley won the title from The Rock. They don't want to waste too much valuable pay-per-view time as the Hall of Famer Mark Dustin and Hardcore Holly jog back into the venue.
Hauling ass.
Have you ever seen him move that fast here?
I don't think so.
I feel Nord is the best guest I've seen. He's highly entertaining. His comments on Medusa were amazing. He seems real and authentic. Matt, let me tell you, we have a gem in John Nord, the Berzerker. Now, we haven't even gone over this, John C., but will you be available for at least your days off when the Berzerker is here next week?
Next week?
Yes. What do you got cooking?
I'm going to Burlington.
The whole week?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh, good. So you're coming home on Saturday or you're coming home on Sunday?
Coming home on Saturday.
Oh, perfect. Nord won't be here until Sunday. We timed it perfect for you, kid. And you got anything cooking on the Tuesday? He's not going to be here the whole day because he's got to fly home. But
Next Tuesday? Not this coming Tuesday?
the 20th and the 22nd.
No, Tuesday, I think.
Perfect. But you got to work on the Monday.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll have to talk to those rug people. Big win for Bob Hawley. One of my favorites. I know a lot of people consider him a bully and so on and so forth. Paul Bearer. JBL, another member of the alumni here. Wow. He was really heavy at that point.
Good. An interesting profile.
It is quite the side profile, is it not? This was the evil Undertaker leading this Ministry of Darkness. I was a fan of the Ministry of Darkness. Paul Bearer absolutely hated it. Hated it. There's Viscera, that man right there to the left. He competed at Memorial Hall. Man to Paul Bearer's right has been here at this studio. So again, as I say on this show, there's a lot of guys that we've worked with, John C. And you know none of them, but that's all right.
Not none of them.
Is the big boss man, Ray Traylor. He was in the main event of the highest attended event in TD Garden / Fleet Center history. A November of 1998 house show that had no set, just an entranceway. And I don't even remember what the match, it was a four-way. I remember that. It was Bossman, Austin, Rock, and Undertaker maybe? But they did close to 19,000, and that's about as many as you can get in the TD Garden / Bossman.
I'm going to be in the TD Garden tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. You're going to the,
Sorry.
That's all right. That was my second guess. Oh, is this Midian? Oh!
What's your beef with him?
Really not. Both really good guys. Just neither one of the boss man at this point's body was really broken down, and Midian was never especially
Downright
great.
Depressed.
I mean, this could make the opener look like a classic. With
You got in that jar?
I have no idea, except the purity of evil. It's almost like what I feel like when I deal with Piggott. Except the purity of evil.
She is pure evil.
Oh, you can say that twice.
Oh, it's a gift.
It's in an eyeball?
Oh,
Yeah. Well, maybe he was hanging out with Haku at a bar in Memphis before the show that our good friend John Taffer of Bar Rescue might have rescued. I hope this match, let's see, it's 6:44 on my clock. If this goes past 6:47, I'm going to be disappointed. Because, I mean, you know what? Look at really, Gangrel, they couldn't have thrown Edge or Christian or someone in there like that. Midian? Maybe the only one that would have been worse would have been Viscera. Dennis Knight's a good guy, though. And the late Big Boss Man was a good guy, too. Neither have competed here, though. So we should keep a little tab. Polar Burr. There is a very, very good chance Quincy Rustani will be here live Thursday night for Quincy's Wrestling Challenge. It's going to be a warm day here in Boston. While he can't ride the motorcycle, he may have transportation. You may have to pop down.
I can't be there.
Oh, you're going to Burlington. That's right. Well, you can at least watch. Are you going to go see the little Dutch boy from Holland?
Maybe. Who knows?
You know what? I'm going to tell him. Fox, welcome. Canterbury's a good guy too, Matt, if you've never met him. Where in Burlington are you going?
UVM campus sort of area, Church Street
Oh,
probably.
I love it up there. I love it. I think if you,
It's not exactly much else in Burlington.
but I mean, have you heard me rave about how much I
Oh,
love
yeah.
Burlington before?
Yeah, I've heard you have 2 whole conversations with Donovan.
Oh, that's right. Right. When he was down here,
And then you forgot, and then you went through it a second time.
I think it was the only time in my life I drank beer. And I had like 15 or 16 of them. And I was like, huh?
One day?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I was like, we were going house to house. It was almost like trick-or-treating them. It was February, as a matter of fact. February 2002. We were going house to house and just, such great memories, so much fun. The hockey team named me player of the game, which I was very impressed with since I've never played hockey before in my life, but
I can't even skate.
neither can I,
Oh,
especially now.
nowadays, yeah.
I'm texting the little Dutch boy from Holland in case anyone wants to know.
I think I was just talking about him yesterday too.
The Dutch boy?
Yeah, with some friends. Came up somehow.
Now, since this match is so lousy, do you think that, at least on the mother's side, he was a little offended when I said it, but they kind of look like, from the Grinch, the Who's.
Who?
The Who's.
Who does?
The mother's side of the little Dutch boy's family. They have the noses that kind of go up, and
Met his mom.
well, he was a little offended by that, believe it or not. You know what he responded? Who? I said, John C. is coming up Thursday to Saturday, and he said, who?
He's got no fucking clue who that is.
You know, why do my texts always come out so bad? Oh, you meant Mark Canterbury, Phil? I don't know why I'm yelling. Yes, Rise, I know there's a Burlington in Canada.
There's a lot of Burlingtons everywhere.
There's a Burlington in Massachusetts, too, if you want to go to the mall. Who the fuck is John C? John C. I'm going to tell him, John C. Manicas. He actually got involved in the Piggott controversy this week.
What happened there?
Well, he, during his last visit, I guess friends of his tried to book the place, and I tried to, did you ever see the Golden Girls?
I mean, I know what it is.
Well, in my latest manifesto to the Legal Eagles at City Hall, I said it's like, you know, the political type people in the city, when they deal with her at City Hall, they get the Betty White Piggott, and then everybody else gets the B. Arthur Piggott. You know what so that's how I was trying to explain it. Betty White Piggott, B. Arthur Piggott. And one of the little Dutch boy's friends got the B. Arthur Piggott when they tried to rent the place, and they weren't very happy about it. But just to add insult to injury, I spelled it the way that the little Dutch boy spelled it to me, which was CathyPiggit, which I'm sure she did not appreciate. Oh, fucking Piggott. I can't believe this match is 6 minutes long at this point.
From the moment I met her, which was taking a table out of a closet.
Don't touch the table.
What are you doing? And then she told me to get one of the custodians to get it for me. I'm like, it's just a table. I'm not going to have him lug a table all the way over here.
Well, it is his job, to be fair.
But for our Domino's pizza.
What?
It was a teacher, he'd always buy dinner for all the kids for the event.
Mr. D?
Yeah.
Mr. Disappointment. Do you think he was a disappointment to the D's when he came out? Potentially.
He's got a pretty good spot for himself.
Well, the road to WrestleMania is heating up, John C. The Ministry of Darkness, even though the Big Boss Man came away with the win, here comes the demonic version of The Undertaker.
As opposed to the angelic one before?
Well, this one was much darker than The Undertaker was supposed to be. And there he is. What's left of my heart feels a little sad seeing him. Our friend that we miss every day. I know he helped with this Jake Roberts and Jim Duggan situation. I believe that. He knows the stress that I went through in October with all the health issues and the cancellations. But the road to WrestleMania 15 is heating up here, folks. You have the entire Ministry of Darkness holding the Big Boss Man, beating the Big Boss Man.
Oh, they got the pirate shirts.
Well, they're actually vampires, but close. Oh, look out, Boss Man. Your spleen might come out your ass. He broke the ring at Memorial Hall, believe it or not.
You told me.
I told you that? Did I? Oh. I'm sorry, I don't have many stories, but Ron Simmons, one of the men with the painted chests, has been here at this studio. Both of the men with the painted chests have been here, since you have no idea who they are by name. What's the surprise for the halftime show, Tom? And please, update us on the score on the Super Bowl.
I know they said that. They said that there's going to be a special guest at the halftime show.
Well, it's not me.
Oh,
Maybe it's Piggott.
maybe.
The Rock can give her the rock bottom. Charles Wilson. Yeah, well, Charlie's going with the Rams to win. The Ministry of... Well, Midian did his job. Look at that. Paul Bearer's got the nightstick. The Ministry of Darkness did its job setting up what would be a Hell in a Cell match in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, a month later at WrestleMania 15. I was there for that. What a great weekend I had in Philadelphia. Some great memories. Another one where I tipped the cap to the then WWF when I was still a young person, even though I wasn't involved in the event, just to be a guest. It was a really cool thing.
Okay, I know what the crotch chop is. I saw that a couple seconds ago.
Do you know who? Well, did you see those?
Torch people?
Yes. Do you know who one of those was?
No.
Someone that works in this venue.
This venue?
Yes. It was not Fluffy Guerrero.
I'm assuming.
It was not the professor.
I was going to say, I'm assuming they didn't cool off the torch and get it stuck up their ass.
No. Maybe that would help the professor. Wait a minute. We see we had a little, the ladies brawling.
I think that only leaves one or two, doesn't it?
Well, one, really. It's what, can you believe that? He was a druid?
No.
Well, he was. Mark Henry.
Was that in Worcester? Or
That
TD
was
Garden?
TD Garden at WrestleMania 14. Mark Henry was with us at Memorial Hall. He met Piggott. D'Lo Brown is part of those horrendous episodes. Not that the interviews aren't good, but quality-wise, that Lou Data absolutely destroyed from Las Vegas, the professional that he is. Believe it or not, even since last Sunday's exchange, I have not heard from Wimpy. He must be looking for hamburgers. He's on the hunt. I would like to get it resolved. They bother me with this legal paperwork, and then they do nothing to follow up with it. Why bother sending it? Norman, I thought the corporate ministry was overdone. Charlie, I'm going to tell, I don't know if you know the news, I don't know if you heard, but there's a great potential Thursday night for Quincy's Wrestling Challenge live. And also next Saturday, before John Nord joins us, Saturday afternoon at noon is, what the hell is it called? Oh, Elimination Chamber from the Kingdom of Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. The noon start time, obviously, because they are not in the United States. So I don't know. I'm going to try and put together a watch along for Elimination Chamber. I don't know. I know you work. I don't know if Charlie does.
That's next Saturday?
Next Saturday. Oh, you're going to be in. How many times am I going to involve you in something that. Yeah, tell him, Phil.
I'll see if I can catch
The relentless pursuit of cookies. What did you say?
it. See if I can catch it on Peacock.
Oh, wait a minute. Little sexual chocolate. Maybe he should have done that to Piggott. Could you?
I think she would have come up to his belly button, maybe.
Mark Henry and Piggott. He had Mae Young, who was in her 80s. Quincy Mania is running wild, brother. Mike Burkhoffen, how are you doing, buddy? Good to see you. You're right here. Oh, if you ever saw Quincy with Deborah McMichael, who is the woman in the red at Kowloon. Oh.
I know about the picture. The probably well-used picture.
For the fans at home that don't know, there's quite a history between Quincy, Deborah McMichael, and Al Snow. Deborah gave Quincy a picture, autographed, and wrote puppies on it. And Quincy, even, let's see, this would have been, Quincy would have been 47 or 48 years old, but he hid the 8x10 picture of Deborah McMichael that said puppies on it because he was afraid his 70-something-year-old mother might find it. True story. Reno Chastain actually kissed Deborah McMichael on the forehead, which I'm sure she cleansed, but we got the tag team titles on the line here in Memphis, folks. Jerry the King Lawler's iconic status in that city on commentary. D'Lo and Mark Henry are looking for championship gold. I think this would have been a better match than they wound up having at WrestleMania for the tag team titles. I thought that the stipulation for that Battle Royal was rather ridiculous, but that's, as we like to say, one man's opinion. Polar Bear wants some puppies. Ryan wants some puppies. What about you, Phil? Are you a puppy guy? Phil, do you like mustaches? Bring in Brock Lesnar for the watch-along. Well, maybe a Brock Lesnar action figure. I have a feeling that Brock will never be in this studio, but stranger things have happened. We did the movie premiere with Steve Austin in 2007.
Really?
We did a couple of appearances with Hulk Hogan, with our friend Pat Catino's gym, and when I was working on some side projects with Impact Wrestling. So never say never. For fans that are in the Northeast, if you have not seen or heard all the updates, the Jake the Snake Roberts snakebite incident, Hacksaw Jim Duggan being an American hero, fresh off of cancer surgery, we added another VIP package because there are some people that love their autographs, and one of the prizes is going to be an autographed 11x14 Hulk Hogan poster, a photo from his WWF run. And I mean, that on eBay is probably $300, and it's going to be a free raffle available only to people that buy that VIP package. It's available now at bostonwrestling.com. Anyone that has purchased tickets can upgrade to it. So we strive to give you the best value in wrestling. It comes with so much. Deborah was a lovely, lovely, delightful woman. And you know what, I have no problem saying what I think about the ones I don't like. But Deborah McMichael is a lovely, generous, kind woman.
Especially to Quincy.
And damn those puppies. You know what, they may be, I don't know if they're ready to be put to sleep yet, but I don't know if they're puppies anymore, considering this was 99. Are you a puppy guy?
I don't quite know.
You don't know? All right. Well. I know I don't like cats, but I definitely like the puppies, baby. Double J, Jeff Jarrett going to work. Isn't it funny that D'Lo Brown would go on to become the Director of Talent Relations for a company that Jeff Jarrett would help create in Total Nonstop Action? Now, this gentleman coming in the ring right now, you talk about a sad story, John. This is February. In May of '99, did you ever hear about the Owen Hot incident?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, his harness came loose.
Yeah, and he fell about 80 feet from the top of the arena into the ring. That was a tough one. I get little chills right now, as I remember when we did our interview with Paul Bearer over in that corner. They were in the main event that night, and he talked about seeing blood on the mat. But, you know what? Maybe we'll watch that show someday. I'm sure that's heavily edited on the network. I've never gone back to watch it.
I think like right after, they just cut to black.
No, they never cut to anything. They cut to...
Not live, but...
Oh, on the...
Like any subsequent releases, they just cut it to black. Or...
Wow, I feel... Choked up isn't the word, but I almost feel it's odd right around my throat. I don't know. They say the show goes, the show must go on, but I don't know. Well, we'll talk about Over the Edge 99 another time. Right now, we're watching St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Nice enziguri from Owen. I wonder if he picked that up from Bad News Alan Coage, Bad News Brown, from his days working for Owen's dad in Stampede Wrestling, the judo master that he was. Polar Bear, I'm guessing you've never seen the video on Tony Atlas's porch when the cat did the run-in. Have you ever seen that?
I've never seen it, but you told the story.
Oh. And I didn't have my glasses on, so I really couldn't know. I really didn't know what was happening.
You thought it was a fucking nutria.
I had no, it was just this black thing, little black furry thing running out. And I literally almost jumped out of the seat. And I go, Tony, what the fuck is that? It's a little pussycat. I said, get it the fuck out of here. It's just a cat. I said, get it the fuck out of here. Then the cat ran, but Tony's door was open, and it ran past Glantz, and the cat ran into Tony's home. And Tony instructed Glantz to go and find the cat. Just another adventure we had here in Boston Wrestling. We hope you're having a good time tonight, folks. The Super Chat button is open for business. Don't forget, folks, Tuesday you've got a real treat to look forward to. If you have yet to see Wrestling Insider's Throwback Thursdays with John Nord, as we still await Justin Credible to come to the studio, as he was paid partially to do. That's a different story for a different time. We're going to have an all-day, all-night Berzerker John Nord marathon. If you guys have yet to see it, or if you want to relive it all in one whack, every episode so far with the Berzerker in one supersized marathon. We had a heck of a lot of fun. Charlie Wilson, hot take. The Attitude Era helped kill wrestling, along with the internet. Charlie, I'll say this. I'll agree with you. I would say more the Monday Night Wars as opposed to the Attitude. To one company, I'll put it on both.
How so?
You know what? Wrestling, it was just paced different before the Monday Night Wars, which led to the Attitude Era. Every match on TV became superstar versus superstar when it used to be what would be called a jobber or an enhancement talent. They would come into,
That's like someone who just sort of comes in to build someone up.
Yeah, Bob's, nothing to be confused with you, but Bob Smith against Owen Hot. And Bob Smith would take all of Owen Hart's moves. He might get one in, but it was designed to make him look like a superstar and effective. Now, I mean, there's so few guys that are what we call over superstar level. It's because it's all They all win, they all lose. No one's really, other than a select handful, pushed really as a superstar. And that began with the Monday Night Wars, because WCW tried to be different than WWE, and they started to present all main event matches. And the fans were like, shit, this is some good stuff, which it was. But at some point, it's almost like having your favorite dessert every day. Are you a 99 guy?
I've been there. I don't think I've ever ordered dessert there.
Well, I love the 99, and they have this dessert with ice cream, hot fudge, hot chocolate cake, whipped cream.
Oh, like little.
Oh, I have it maybe, I might have it once or twice a year, but I'm in heaven when I have it.
Chocolate lava cake.
Something like that. If I had it every day, I'd get tired of it. And I think that's the point wrestling is in general right now in a lot of ways.
It's been the same thing.
Exactly.
20 years.
No one's been presented as important. Finishing moves aren't presented as important. The bad guys don't cheat anymore. I could come up with a whole list.
I feel like
This was almost like giving someone cocaine. You know what I mean? It was great, but then they overdid it, and then wrestling got hooked on this format, and it sucked for 20 years.
I feel like that's like the best moments when the heel cheats.
Yeah. Well, Mark Henry gets the guitar to the leg. This could be it. Ivory and Deborah McMichael going at it on the floor. Are we going to see the puppies? Mark Henry was so bad at this point.
She's gonna pull a Mae West? Or Mae Young? Mae West. Celebrity from like 1930.
Close. And one thing I'll say about Deborah McMichael, I think she's got prettier as she aged.
Happens with some.
Yeah, it does. I don't know what the fans at home think. Charlie, you've had that dessert at the 99. Well, maybe we should go sometime after we tape here as a treat.
I'll go.
Norman, no, you're right. They did go up, but it was almost like a roller coaster. What goes up must come down. And ever since, like I said, the bell rang at WrestleMania 17, outside of that one little period where they put the title on Cena and Batista at the same time, the business has gone downhill in every aspect. I mean, Madison Square Garden, its second lowest attendance since 1947. Christmas week, which used to be one of the biggest house shows of the year. Second lowest attendance since 1947. What more do you need to say?
Is that the Garden or
Madison Square Garden.
Oh.
Oh, no, for a wrestling event. It was the second lowest attended event since 1947. Yeah.
Wrestling event?
Yeah. It was a day or two after Christmas. She's covering the puppies. Oh, I wish Quincy was here right now. The fun I'd be having with him between Al and... What's the score of the game, guys? I watched the Hogan porno instead of dropping the... Well... Mizak Henry, you got it, Ryan. That was a lot of fun with X-Pac.
7-0 Rams.
Okay. Everyone I've spoken, almost everyone I should say I've spoken to says it's going to be the Bengals night.
It's only quarter one. Oh, it's 36 seconds there.
Are you a football fan, John C?
Not at all.
No. You don't really care about the
McFoley?
Super
Yeah, it's
Bowl.
McFoley.
Sheiky baby!
Oh, it is.
Sheiky baby! The man that put us on the map on Howard Stern. And Mick Foley, another man that's been here in this studio. The Rock covering up his surgically repaired chest when he had to have his breasts removed.
From the gas?
Yeah.
This is Mankind.
Mankind at this point, but otherwise known as Mick Foley, best-selling author, good friend of the show.
It's one of the few I knew before.
Now, how did you know? Oh, from the Hell in the Cell? when he was thrown off?
Yeah, there's
This?
there's a video essay about it.
A video essay?
Yeah.
What, an essay?
Yeah. It's like a genre of YouTube video. Where it's like a visualized essay.
Life sucks and then you die. You got it, Norman. I remember. That was a good Vinnie Mac promo. Jim Ross was missing on this one as the lifeless Michael Cole. I wonder if you send in your bill, if you can still get the magnet, John C. What do you think?
Send in a picture of Quincy.
Mike Burke Coffin, what are you drinking, brother? Salute. Sugar-free Red Bull, but close enough. There he is. Don't call him Leo, but Val Venus. Are you familiar with either Venus?
You kept talking about the other one.
Which
you
one?
would not elaborate on why it was so funny to you.
Which one? Val or Leo?
You kept talking and you wouldn't elaborate. Yeah. Like, what's his deal? And you're like,
Who, Leo?
Leo Venus.
Oh, boy, the Attitude Era. Now, she is portraying the sister of Ken Shamrock right there, who was one of the baddest men on the planet. He was a UFC champion before coming to WWE, or WWF. And the girl that Val Venus was involved with was his sister. What's funny is, in real life, the female, Ryan Shamrock, actually became involved with the Ken Shamrock. They became an item, even though on TV they were brother and sister. Isn't that odd? Val is taking a beating, but what about Leo? Oh, I wish the Jackal was alive sometimes. Brian Forrest, how are you, my friend? Welcome to the show. Are you new? I don't recognize your name, but we're certainly glad you're here to join the fun. Special guest referee, Badass Billy Gunn. DX was all over the place at this point, thanks to Vince Russo's booking, but is it 7-3, Phil, or guys, anybody that's watching? I believe you're right, Brian. She was the manager of the Maestro. What is that now?
7-3 heading into Q2.
7-3, okay. Well, we got a barn burner in Los Angeles, but nothing as hot as the St. Valentine's Day Massacre watch-along. We're going to be back next Sunday. What the hell do we have next? Oh, next... Well, you know, I'm going to start typing it out, for Christ's sakes.
You need to keep notes.
More insanity. There's a new interview with Shane Douglas who claims he witnessed cops empty 20 cans of mace and hit him in the head with the baton, and it only served to make him more angry. You know what, Fox guy? If you join us with the Berzerker next Sunday or Monday when he's live, remind me of that, because the Berzerker gets hot about Haku. The Berzerker claims he laid out Haku in Japan.
What did he say, 112-0?
In bar fights or something like that, yeah. This Haku shit has got to stop. Well, Marty Jannetty is going to be coming back very soon, Brian, with Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Marty Jannetty is, we spoke, or texted, I should say, well, almost every day, but probably sometime in March, we're going to do some live episodes and get back to season 2 of Party with Marty, because you guys are helping support it. We need to finish it off, though. If you could head on over to that great Indiegogo campaign, the link is in the comment section below, and I'm certainly going to try and prop it, so I'm going to put the link in the premiere chat. What are we, 94% to goal, John C? Are we going to hit 100?
I mean, 94 is almost close enough.
We need to get to 100. For Christ's sakes. This kid.
What's the difference?
This kid.
I mean,
There's 6%.
The mathematical difference, not the. What does it matter? What's the difference? What's the number?
Well, if you want to contribute the last 6%, you're more than welcome.
That's what I'm asking.
Oh, how much is it, the last 6%?
Yeah.
139 bucks. 138, I'm sorry. So we're getting close, guys. The Super Chat button is open for business if we want to help the cause. So I'm gonna put this week's lineup ahead. Let's see, Tuesday, the Berzerker Marathon. Thursday night, Quincy Live. Wait a minute, it says John C. Are you supposed to be mic'd? We can't hear you.
What?
The hell are you doing?
I turned it up. Oh.
What did you do?
I thought I had 7. I had 4.
Oh. See, the thing about me is I'm so loud you could hear me even if I didn't have the microphone.
True.
Saturday.
Check, 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 check. Hello?
Folks, look at this lineup that I just listed. Tuesday, we have the all-day Berzerker John Nord Marathon. Thursday night, Quincy Rustani will be live. Saturday afternoon with a noon start time, I think we're going to have an Elimination Chamber watch-along. Sunday, the Berzerker will be live, and we're going to have a Royal Rumble 92 watch-along. And then Monday, we'll have yet a second live episode with the Berzerker. It's going to be big. We're going to have a lot of fun. Again, you guys getting autographed photos, your tips, your Super Chats.
Thank you, Matt.
Everything goes a long way. Thank you, Matt. He says we can hear you now.
Yeah.
John Nord on Medusa was hilarious. You are right, Mike. And believe me, after dealing with her, I enjoyed that a great deal.
How many people have compared me to Jungle Boy now?
To Jungle Boy?
Yeah.
Where is that? Oh, Polar Bear. Have you ever seen Jungle Boy?
I don't think so.
Well, maybe when AEW comes to town in April, you can come. Would you be interested in coming to a live event?
Okay, so I've narrowed it down that I'm going to be going away in late April.
Oh, so you will be around for it then.
Probably. When is it?
I think it's April, 6th, I think.
Oh, yeah, probably.
It's at Aganis Arena, not the Garden, though. They go for the college venues.
That's...
A Wednesday.
No.
Oh.
Is that further west, or is that...
No, it's in Boston.
Oh, that's over by...
It's on the Green Line, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, over by BU, right?
And isn't it perfect? We can maybe do some flyers for the April 16th event.
Maybe.
The fans know, well, maybe. I wouldn't say maybe. Hopefully, the AEW, I tell you, the first time they were in Boston, they gave me a little handicap suite.
Oh.
It was wonderful. I felt like a VIP. Dan, can I do a fill-in watch-along next month? Mike, we really want to get things rolling as far as getting people back in the studio. There's restrictions in the studio. There's restrictions in the city. It's a pain in the ass. But at some point, I'd like, especially to those that are Patreon members, we want to be able to get you guys back here in the studio. So I don't want to say April, but I want to say sooner than later. I don't know if you know who Luke Perry is, but Jungle Boy is his son.
He was on some TV show,
He was
right?
on 90210 when I was a very young
He
guy.
died recently?
Yes, he did. Yeah, the past couple of years, yeah.
Remember, because I got it mixed up with the guy from Friends, Matthew Perry. Matthew Perry? Is that his name? Chandler?
Was that his real name? The name in real life?
The actor?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the actor's name.
Perry was Matthew Perry?
Yeah, I think so.
There was Matt LeBlanc. I remember him.
Was it?
It's been a long time
It's
since
something.
I've seen
It's
Friends.
something Perry.
14-3. Could it be the Bengals' big night? John C. would give Chaka from Land of the Lost a run for his money. Now, I don't know what that is. But
That's a TV show from like the 70s.
oh, the Rams are up 14-3. Who's winning?
60s probably. Actually.
Who's winning? We got the score. I just don't know who's winning.
It's 13-3 Rams.
Oh, it's the Rams are winning. Okay. Well, I'm sure. Well, no, you know, our friend Vicente Rewasco, even though he's from Cali, is a Chicago Bears fan. So I don't know of any Rams fans, even from my Cali posse.
You mean Bengals?
Matthew Perry is from Friends. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hakami. Oh! Chris Steves. I'm trying. You're going to come to Boston, Chris? That would be awesome. You're more than welcome, especially if you make a donation like that. That would entitle you to 2 guests at the dinner that we're going to have. I don't know the answer. I'm going to have to check tomorrow when the people that have been instructed to help with the raffle. As far as I know, no, but I'm not 100% sure because long story. I've been dealing with so much live event stuff with the Jake and Jim Duggan scandal, saga, blah, blah, blah.
Jake the Flake.
I like that, Jake the Flake. Julian, how are you, buddy? I haven't seen your name pop in a while. We got Hakami. We got a lot of people that don't care about the Super Bowl that want to watch a little Attitude Era WWF. Val Venus and Ken Shamrock going at it for the Intercontinental Championship with AEW's Billy Gunn as the special guest referee. Leo is not involved. Simon, I'm not saying I'm old, but I can remember when Jay Leno was funny. I was never a big Jay Leno guy. You know this, I'll say, and I can't even think of the guy's name now. Who's the guy that does NBC's late night talk show now?
Kimmel?
No.
Fallon?
Yes. They have a ride for him at Universal Studios that's fantastic.
I don't like that guy.
I never really cared for him either, but the ride they have of him is fantastic.
They have a ride for a late night talk show host?
Well, Universal, Comcast, NBC.
They got absolutely nothing else to make rides about.
But it's a lot of fun. It's when you walk in, it's almost like how you'd walk into that old studio. And it's I don't do roller coasters, as you know, but it's one of those motion rides. Oh, it's a ton of fun.
Oh, one of those ones where it's like a projection and then the room just sort of moves around.
The seats do the moving.
Yeah.
And yeah. Fuck the Super Bowl. Tell him, Mike.
Conan was
the best. You know what? I actually liked David Letterman. And I actually went to one of his shows. We were doing some kind of a taping in New York City, and they needed people for the studio audience. And who the fuck was the guest? Charles Grodin. Do you have any idea who Charles Grodin is? He was in, I think, Beethoven with the movie about the dog. No, you don't know Charles Grodin.
No.
All right, well, look at what we're talking about during the Super Bowl and Val Venus and Ken Shamrock going at it for the Intercontinental title.
There's a new cartoon on Adult Swim. They make fun of Jimmy Fallon by name, and it's pretty funny.
Wow. Phil says, wow, I just got chills from that Chevy Sopranos commercial with Meadow and AJ. Next to Boston Wrestling, The Sopranos is the greatest show ever. Phil, we have something else in common. I love The Sopranos. Love The Sopranos. As much as I hated the ending, I thought it was so creative. What's that now?
I've never seen The Sopranos, but have you ever seen it was like I think it was like 2008 or 12 presidential elections when Hillary was running. They recreated the final scene from The Sopranos.
Did they?
For like some weird choose the song of Hillary's campaign. And like, you know, the whole point of that scene in The Sopranos is that they're about to die in
Yeah.
a diner.
Well, there's been some stories about old Hillary with some of her friends that have gone awry. But Phil, who died this year?
2022 already?
What about the old Salamagat pig, huh? What about the Guma? You got any Gumas, John C?
Is this a Sopranos thing? Or
No, an Italian thing. Was Fancino one of your Gumas?
No.
No. All right, well, that might be for the best. That might not have worked out so well. Well, now I want to see the commercial. Where's the gabagool?
Why do you have spaghetti?
Who died, Phil? For Christ's sakes. You have the wrench. I want to know who died. Who? As Ken Shamrock is being choked to death, we're trying to find out who is someone from The Sopranos. Oh, Charles Grodin. Yes, he did die. I remember hearing about that.
How long ago was that?
Within the past year or so. But, you know, I was surprised at how tiny the David Letterman studio was. It looked so much bigger on TV than it did in person. People would probably think the same thing about this place. But
I mean, it's not that small in here.
this place?
I mean, I guess that we don't have the seating arrangements that
I
Letterman would have.
At one point, you don't know. You've heard us talk about Cauliflower Alley Club, right? The thing in Las Vegas.
Like a charity thing, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, they do award presentations. And I thought about, geez, if we ever tried to do something like that here in the studio, how many people could we really fit in here if we just did rows? And you know what? I think if we had just to say a podium and someone talking, we could probably, I think, get 100 people in here.
100?
If it was just rows of, if we removed everything, other than the 3 cameras, and we did just rows of those white-sized chairs.
Say maybe 70. I don't know about 100.
If we pushed them right back to the edge of the curtain, got rid of all the set, I think we could, look at those white chairs. I mean, you could probably get 5, 6, 7, probably 15 or so in a row. And we'd need what? Could we do 6 rows of those white chairs up to maybe here? I think so.
Maybe.
If it wasn't Corona time, maybe we'd really have to squish. But Johnny and I have wanted to try and do something to emulate the cauliflower up in this area, because I think it would be great. Oh, wait a minute, Val Venus choking out Shamrock again. He wants his sister and he wants his title.
It might even be be better to do it like this way. I feel maybe. Maybe not.
The rows would be shorter, that's for sure. But we could do more. Well, I actually, though, one day we went up and got the white chairs, and I actually tried to set up one row to figure out how many we could get in a row and how close we could get. And I think we came up with either 6 or 7. But, we could do an autograph. The autographs we could do out in the...
That's true.
Out in the other room. That might be interesting. I don't know. I don't know how many people here are in the Boston area, but would you be interested in a Cauliflower Alley Club type award ceremony / autograph photo session for the great legends of professional wrestling? I'd rather do it at a nice restaurant like Kowloon, like we had an event there. I think we missed the boat when we did our Kowloon event several years back. Yes, that is a Gronk figure, Tom. Good eye. Oh, it's right over my shoulder now that I see it. Where's the gabagool? I missed The Sopranos. That was a great show. That was one of my favorite. You know what you want to, if you're an HBO streaming subscriber, one that I loved was 6 Feet Under. What a great show that was. And I'm not much of a TV show. Did you ever see that one?
No, but I like the Watchmen miniseries that they did.
You know, that's one I wanted to watch, and I never did.
It's really good, actually. The entire score is by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. 9 Inch Nails.
I know the name. Was it? I enjoyed the movie a great deal. But was it as good as the movie?
It's more true to the source than the movie was.
Oh, okay. Did I ever tell you what happened when I went to the movie?
Yes, you did.
That fucking Linda.
Fruit plate.
$40 I must have dropped. It was like a Wednesday afternoon matinee, and Linda had to get a fruit cup, a vegetable cup, all this shit. All I wanted was popcorn. Then she had to go to the bathroom, and I don't know how she found out, because I didn't tell her.
3 hour.
She came back almost like that story about Piggott when she threw the pen at me. Linda came in charging through an almost empty theater, yelling, whispering at me that we were leaving. I said, I'm not leaving. I said, we just paid all this money to watch the movie. Well, I'm going food shopping, and I'm going to the fucking gym. I'll come back and get you later. I said, all right, fine, go.
To be fair, I could not sit after the Snyder cut of Justice League. I could not sit through another 3 hours of a Zack Snyder movie.
To be fair, a superhero movie. Well, you know, would you call that a superhero movie?
Watchmen, yeah. It's a deconstruction of superhero movies, but
that is not
superheroes in general. But.
That's not something Linda would want to go to. But then again, I sat through a lot of lovey-dovey romance movies, and I really didn't want to sit through.
Do you know how long the Snyder cut of Justice League is?
No idea.
It's 4 hours and 45 minutes long.
Holy shit. People should have brought a pillow and a blanket.
Well, it didn't come out in theaters. It was HBO only.
Oh, it's on, is it HBO Max? Is that what it's called? I subscribe to Shudder, which I'm going to get rid of because the movies don't change. I subscribe to Paramount.
I got that the other day, too.
Oh, you know, we should have... What's the score, Phil? What's that make it, 14-10?
13-9.
The road to WrestleMania continues. If you remember at the last minute, Billy Gunn and Road Dogg was swapped. Road Dogg was put in the 4-way Intercontinental Championship match, and Billy Gunn was put in the 3-way Hardcore match that opened the show with Hardcore Holly and Al Snow. And I never knew why. Maybe we'll have to interview them and find out, John C. It's 13-10 Rams. Phil, was the ending to 6 Feet Under the series one of the most satisfying you've ever seen? Especially compared to, as we're talking about the finale of The Sopranos, which really got a lot of mixed reactions. I thought that was off the charts. What a great show, John, if you ever want to get in one.
Yeah.
Do you have HBO, the whatever it is, the streaming?
Yeah, I think so.
Jesus, what don't you have?
Use my parents' Netflix and Hulu. And...
Well, I mean, at the Riley residence, what don't you have? I'm going to have to start, using yours. I got Paramount because they had I love horror movies. Have I ever told you that?
Yeah.
And it takes a lot to spook me.
Mm-hmm.
In the original Paranormal Activity, the first one, that scared the ever-living shit out of me for days.
Really?
And there's some people that are like, it was nothing. But I mean, to me, realistically...
Have you ever seen Eraserhead?
No.
Oh, that's a good one.
What's that on?
I don't know if it's on anything. It's...
Thanks.
Well, it's like a fairly popular movie. You can find it.
I'll look it up. I'll Google it.
I can lend you a
What
copy.
is so good of it? What do you have it on, DVD?
Yeah. But it's about a guy and his girlfriend, or his ex-girlfriend at the time. he finds out that she was pregnant.
No, don't spoil it.
No. This isn't. This is like the first half of the first act. She was pregnant. They had a kid, and it was like horribly deformed.
Sounds like a lot of the people here, the studio. Is it a reenactment or?
What?
Is it a reenactment of
here.
MWF Studios?
In some ways.
Yes, Phil. Perhaps the ultimate finale. You're
The
right.
main character walks around like Quincy. Now that I think about it.
Eraserhead. Eraserhead.
That's the name of the movie.
All right.
It's David Lynch. Twin Peaks.
How old of a movie is it?
I think it's 77.
Oh, it's that old?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. Maybe that's why I've never heard of it. But Paranormal Activity, monsters don't scare me, any of that stuff. But ghosts
Ghosts.
scare the fuck out of me.
It's not really a ghost.
I'm talking about Paranormal Activity, not Eraserhead.
When I watch those movies, I laugh more than
Well, I
recoil.
imagine if my house was haunted, that is what would happen. And I don't want anything to do with it. I remember I was with, I shouldn't even say this on the air, but at one point when Linda and I weren't together, I was with another, and she wanted us, I didn't even know what she meant, a suicide pact. Do you know what that means?
Yes.
Well, I
yeah.
later figured it out. And I'm glad I didn't say yes, or I would have broken my word. But we went and saw the movie. And I remember someone was coming back from the bathroom, and they opened the door, and I went, So anyway, Paramount released an exclusive streaming version of a new Paranormal Activity movie. So that's why I subscribed. And my good friend John Taffer's Bar Rescue is on there.
Oh,
and
I saw that.
I love Bar Rescue. Did you know that there was a feud between John Taffer and John Cena Sr.? No. Oh, they had a battle between the studio and Twitter. Probably 2012-ish. Taffer Cena. John Taffer is a great guy if you guys have ever seen Bar Rescue. Really, really good guy.
I saw that when I was looking through it the other day, and I thought of you.
Taffer Cena?
No, just Bar Rescue
Oh.
on Paramount. This is like, oh, whenever I walk in, he's watching this.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was so noticeable. Oh, Polar Bear. Eraserhead is on HBO. It's as weird as fuck.
Yes, it is a weird as fuck movie.
So it is 13-10 Rams right now. Yeah, I could see Quincy being the odd guy in a horror movie. Absolutely.
Quincy would fit right into...
One of those early Friday the 13th, where he's like one of the guys in the middle that gets killed. He's just wandering around screaming, trying to talk to
He's
Jason.
walking through the forest. Ow! Ow!
Could anyone verify it's the Rams that are up? Because I'm still confused. I'm
Yeah,
exhausted.
It's the Rams.
It's the Rams? That commercial was paid by Paramount, not WWE. Oh, do you mean Peacock, Brian? I guess they advertised WrestleMania on the Super Bowl. They're having a hard time selling tickets, I was told by my friends there. X-Pac, he's been in this studio before, the man with the championship belt around his waist. Triple H married Vince McMahon's daughter, if you didn't know that.
I knew that.
Okay. Hopefully he's doing better. He had a heart ailment last year.
The reason...
X-Pac, I think, is one of the most underrated professional wrestlers ever. Ever. If he was around now, he'd be a top guy. What's that?
I was going to say, it is about Paramount again.
What was about it?
The reason I got it is because I started watching Star Trek The Next Generation on Netflix.
Did they play the Birdson song?
The what?
I like mayonnaise. Over your head. I really have to explain.
Over the Lights.
Yes, that's how the Birdson song. Ryan, I don't know when it came out, but it's an exclusive on the Paramount Network, and I think they do one of those gimmicks where you can get the first month for free if you want to check it out.
Paramount?
Yeah.
It's first week.
Okay. And I really liked it. The last couple were kind of, But
Yes.
this one was really, it had a really cool premise to it.
They got all the Nickelodeon shows, too.
Yeah, I watched all of them.
I don't know. You don't like Ren and Stimpy?
I've never seen it. SpongeBob, I know like the back of my hand because of the Little Maraudis. Dan, what about Jake? He did the same thing to a local promoter.
For a second, I thought that was Phantom of the Opera.
Western Union. Chris, I tell you, even a sober Jake the Snake Roberts is a piece of garbage. I wanted to bring him to you guys. I know you guys wanted him. I wanted him in the studio. We came to an agreement with his quote-unquote agent/daughter, and then they tried to change it. So you know what I say to that? I've been in contact with DDP's people from the quote-unquote accountability crib where he lived. I've reached out to AEW. I mean, even if things changed, I don't even know if I'd want them. I'm disgusted with it. The stress that him and his daughter Brandy have caused me. His daughter Cody is delightful. She's a great, great person. If for whatever reason there's confusion about the two daughters.
Brandy.
But the one Brandy is as bad as Jake.
Not
Fuck
a
'em
fine
both.
girl?
No, you heard what I just said.
You know the song, though, right?
What's the song?
Brandy, was it Looking Glass? Oh, it's an older song.
See, you know what? When we bring the talent in, it's very simple. It's very simple. We want to fly them in, do the work, pay them, fly them home. Everybody has a good experience. I don't know why that format has to be tinkered with and fucked with, like Jake has done. But send him a tweet at Jake Snake DDT. Let him know what you think. Oh, Ryan, you have Paramount? Well, if you like Paranormal Activity, check it out.
They did have a lot of horror movies on there, I saw.
I still haven't seen A Quiet Place 2. You know what I did? I was so tired one night. I went home and I wanted to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And then about halfway through, I said, geez, this is awfully familiar. I put on the first one.
I honestly, I've heard that they're like really similar.
Well, I guess it's very quiet. I remember at the movie theater, I could hear myself eating the popcorn. It was so quiet. It was odd, but... Oh, Matt Koch says, great song, John C. Brandy, she's a fine girl. Chris, you know what? I am not going to say that drugs or alcohol are involved with this because it had nothing, and I'm not, maybe he does still have issues. Whatever. The problem we had was that he and his daughter tried to change our agreement after the agreement was in place, after he fucked us 3 times in the past. So, thank God for Jim Duggan and Mrs. Duggan, a high-quality, class human being that you guys are going to love meeting, that you're going to love to have here in the studio. A man recovering from a horrible illness, coming to Memorial Hall, coming to MWF Studios, taking that spot dead center that Jake the Snake had. Not going to stab us in the back. The airfare was ridiculous because, unfortunately, it's school vacation week. And what did the Duggans do? They have, I believe, a cabin in New York. And they changed the days of their travel to make it much, much more affordable. Very expensive, but much more affordable for us. Good, quality human beings. I remember working with Jim for the first time with Tony Rumble back in March of 1994 in Wakefield, Massachusetts. We worked with him, WrestleMania, the last weekend I was able-bodied, the weekend of WrestleMania 20, at a WrestleMania reunion fan fest. Good guy. I remember Sherry Martel came over and hung out, which is another sad story. But just Jim Duggan is just a class guy. Everybody's going to have a great experience. He's not going to change the deal. And I thank the people that have tried to help as far as the Jake Roberts situation goes. There were some mutual friends of myself and Jake that tried to intervene and help, but you know what? When you have you can't buy class. You can't buy character and integrity. But it doesn't cost 10 cents to have it. And I think it's a shame. Because I'd love to use Jake on a regular basis. I think the fans would love to see him. But when you make a deal, you make a deal. It's that simple. There is not one professional wrestler that can say to me, since September 28th, 2001, event number 1, oh dear God, well, I thought he was going for the Bronco Buster. They were going to start their movie a little early, but anyway. Yeah. I feel bad for the fans that wanted to meet him because it sucks when you fail to deliver what you promote. It's the worst feeling in the world when you've done everything in your power to live up to the agreement and then someone says, you know what, knife, you're back. What can you do?
Maybe we can get a snake, at least.
No, Piggott will be there. I'd like to throw the snake in her office and have someone shut the door.
She does.
But anyway, I shouldn't say that on camera. I'll get another letter.
Could have been a little garter snake. It's not going to hurt her.
She'd start yelling at it.
What are you doing in here?
I don't know if you guys have seen, you know what, let me put the link up just in case. If you guys are interested after the, what is it, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, right now Triple H and X-Pac are selling for China, which is a disgrace, but...
No, never mind, I'm not going to say
What? No, what were you going to say? No, what were you going to say? Now I want to know. What were you going to say? You're laughing? You're chuckling? That's not John Sears.
No, I'll tell you later.
All right. You think we should order something to eat now?
I think we should.
Or after the show?
I think we should. What do you think?
Well, I don't want to eat on the air.
No, yeah. If we get, like, Uber Eats, we can schedule it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's above my pay grade. I just want to find the link for the fans if they want to see the Jake video. Because let me tell you, if you guys want a wrestling story about one of your heroes, and let me tell you, when I was a kid, I loved Jake the Snake. But what a piece of shit in real life. Brian, as far as I know, no. And I was in contact with WWE this week about a few things. Because one thing I can say is no matter what we say about those people on our talk shows, good, bad, or otherwise, there's a lot of great people that work for WWE. This is absurd that Triple H is struggling with China. Look at her. She after that plastic surgery, her face looks like it grew about 6 inches longer than it was. Not to knock the dead, but I mean, this is an embarrassment. This is a disgrace. You know, when she came in 97, not trying to be cruel, but she was freakish. Then once she wanted to become more feminine so she could do Playboy, you know, she had a giant face and a body that didn't match what was needed to compete with the men. For Jericho and Bob Holly to go through that feud with her and this is just the shits. This is the worst of the Attitude Era.
I'm going to run to the bathroom.
You can walk if you want.
Okay, now I'm sprinting.
Right, yep, Backlash will be in Rhode Island on Sunday, May the 8th. What are we going to do for the watch-along that night? We'll have to do a pre-recorded one in case you guys still want to tune in and you don't care about Backlash. Now, see, there is someone you struggle with to suplex in a monster like Kane. It took 2 men to suplex Kane. Now, China thinks she's fucking Ric Flair being thrown off the top rope. Kane caught her. Oh, please. What do you guys think? Were you guys X-Pac fans? I truly believe he's one of the most underrated of all time. The clothesline could have used a little more oomph. You're right, Paula Bear. What a great analogy. She did, or the bottom of her face turned into Jay Leno. What a great, great, great comparison. I think her gimmick suited Triple H perfectly in 1997 when she came in. But when they went the route of her wrestling the men, give me a break. Julian, you think John C. owns the porno? Well, we'll have to ask him when he comes back. You know, should I go through his phone? No, I wouldn't do that. You know what, Matt? It was because he was that good of a heel. I mean, his in-ring work was superb. He was one of the only people in the Attitude Era that was asshole-ish enough that made you really hate him. And I'll go with that. I respect your opinion, certainly. Everybody, Bob Holly too, but he wasn't the same for me after that Brawl for All. Well, you mean Bob Holly as far as underrated, or Bob Holly being wasted working with China? Oh. I mean, come on. Who was going to take this seriously? Her work isn't crisp. Look, I mean, come on. X-Pac is a world-class fucking professional, and he's 7 to sell that shit. I hope we have X-Pac in the studio someday and we can do a watch-along of this. Kane and X-Pac had great chemistry as both opponents and as a tag team. They began teaming, I think, just a couple of months later in '99. X-Pac and Shane McMahon would go on to have what I thought was a very good match at WrestleMania 15 the next month. Big-time clothesline from the Big Red Machine, Kane. To me, this is when Triple H started to lose it a little bit for a little while. I think he got a little too big. But 2000, 2001 Triple H, who was better? He was off the charts. But we'll get there at some point. I hate fucking China. I mean, come on. This is all white PvP. Carl, over my head. I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah, you're right, Phil. That was complete and utter bullshit, too. Like, she even needed a book. Yeah, she's passed. I don't want to be too cruel, but just as far as what she contributed to pro wrestling, it was very, very fucking little for a short period of time. Like I said, this is a disgrace. You like China, Michael. You know what? You're entitled to your opinion. Yeah, the Brawl for All, that was a complete and utter disaster. Big. I only liked HHH when he came back. See, when he came back from that run in 2002, I thought he came back, he was too big. And he was slower, and he wasn't that 2000, 2001 Triple H, who was superb. Superb. It's such a shame he got injured at that point. I would have loved to have seen that run continue. Would have been interesting to see how Triple H would have been involved in the WCW, ECW invasion angle. Yeah, I remember, Big. Yeah, the X Factor theme was kind of funny. Dan, did you ask Godfather about Savio? Did you ask about Brawl for All? Julian, I don't think we got to the Brawl for All with either one of them yet. I like to keep things in chronological order, as most of you know. With Godfather, it was still a Papa Shango era when we completed our interview set with him. And Savio was still Quang when we and obviously I'd like to have both back. Godfather, hopefully we can hook up with when we're at the Cauliflower Alley Club in Las Vegas in September. John C., we might need you.
September?
We'll see you in September.
We'll see if I can book a trip to the Grand Canyon.
I'd love to.
Have you ever been?
No. Now, are you trying to be funny or are you trying to be serious?
What?
Do you know about the Grand Canyon?
Yes, I do.
What happened with the Grand Canyon?
Yes, I do.
Because of that fucking idiot Lou? I didn't know if you were being funny or if you were being serious. I guess you're being serious. I would like to go. I wanted to go, obviously.
Have you ever been?
Do you know what happened or not?
Well, I didn't know if you've gone before that.
Oh, no, I've never been. That's why I was looking forward to it.
Personally, I've been 3 times.
Oh, you've been? Okay. Well, I'd love to go. But there he is, starting his movie a little early. These two made a porno.
Oh.
X-Pac in China.
Like officially, or?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess this was the days before leaking.
And so they could use the name China because WWE owns it. They actually had to, I think it was called One Night in China. They had to send X-Pac to China to stand in front of the wall so he could say that was his night in China before he had sex with her. Get it?
They couldn't just fake being in China?
I don't know. I guess they wanted authenticity. I'm trying to catch up with you guys. I mean, come on. Just end it. Is there anybody that thinks China was credible at this point? I guess some guys are sexually into women bodybuilders and also into trans women, and that's who like China. I don't see the appeal looks-wise, and she couldn't wrestle. I agree with you, Julian. I mean, I don't know about, trans women that were into China, but, oh, you got to be shitting me. Was this the finish? This is Mark Dustin. Oh. I mean, is there anybody that thought that match was any good? Well, Mike enjoyed the other movie. Yes, Uncle Cracker did the theme song for X Factor. Well, you were right about Lou, Julian. I don't know if you're familiar with the situation going on with Wimpy, the man who is out for the relentless pursuit of justice that served me legal papers because I tarnished his client so much, saying that he had no character and integrity because he lit thousands of dollars on fire for the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks toy drive in his birdseed-sized teeth. I don't understand what you mean, Carl. This is an all-white pay-per-view, a joke being the big show. You lost me. Dan, I heard your dream match from back in the day would have been China and Nicole Bass. Well, you want to know a funny story? The first time I met Nicole Bass, Tony Rumble was working as the Connecticut promoter for ECW. So we were at this place. It was great. I think it was called The Sting. It was a nightclub. It was a strip club. It had it was divided into 3 sections. John C. would have loved it.
Yeah.
And Bass was in the women's strip club. So.
I've only been in one nightclub my whole life.
And did you enjoy it?
I mean, it was a concert, so.
Did you do any pounding?
No.
No fellatio.
There's a group of guys dressed up as gnomes.
All right. Well, that I wouldn't have the interest, but yes, Mikey did. I guess you haven't heard that story. Yes, I was served, and I actually, if you watch last week's watch along, I responded to the lawyer who looks like Wimpy from Popeye, a man that would gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Well, I guess Julian didn't know either. True story, yep. When I came back from Florida, after a long day of travel, a flight that was delayed and sent through St. Louis from Orlando, got home about 1:30 in the morning, to fucking papers from Wimpy from Popeye because of that worthless sack of 45-pound shit, Lou Data. Oh, yeah, Phil. Bass was enormous compared to China. Yes, Mike, you're right. I had... No, you know what the funny thing is, Julian? They said, oh, the defamation and so on and so forth. But at the last paragraph, after Wimpy went through 2 pages of all these, you know, legal ramifications and histories about things that I said on Twitter, they said the Lou's wanted to come to a resolution. A resolution. And I sent 7 points of contention on my end. Things that pissed me off where we were wrong. But Wimpy doesn't want to respond. Wimpy said, what did he say? It was email challenged? Was that the phrase or something like that?
I didn't read
I read
the
it.
second email.
No. This was, remember I was reading his email on the air last week? And he said I was, what was the term?
I wasn't
You
here.
know what, I got to read it now. Now I'm getting hot. Oh, this was in Worcester. This was the night of that Al Snow.
Welcome Back Hall.
Well, Welcome Back Hall was in Worcester too, but it wasn't that night. That was later in '98. Oh no, that was before this. What did he call me?
I think it was email challenged.
No, he did call me email challenge, but there was something else too. I can't even remember the fucking guy's name.
Boring? No.
Yeah, don't give it away yet.
Boorish?
Oh, you sent me the email, John. See, I didn't. You did those cuts for me?
Yeah.
All right, for that.
Sorry, before I thought you just wanted him in the GIF.
No, I need him for the announcements too. Here we go. Lou versus Marathi defamation claim. Oh. What did he call me? A grasping bore.
That was it.
A grasping bore. So I said to him when I checked out his website, talking about the relentless pursuit of justice, I said, looking at some of the insurance companies that you represent that decimate people's lives, some might call you a grasping whore. But he didn't respond to me. But I'm email challenged. How many matches to the main event? Carl, I would say, I think just 2 more. I think we got the title match, and I think we have the steel cage match. So we should figure out what we're going to eat, John C. Please.
True.
Now, how are we going to do this?
What do you want?
I think I got an ad the other day. Let me check. Hold on one sec.
You want Red Rose?
Yeah, that's so... what's this? Take $20 off your order of $25 or more. How do we do this? That's a pretty good deal, is it not? Now, do I have to do this through my phone, or can I do it on the computer?
I can do it. You can do it.
But I mean, do you have to do it on the phone, or can you do it through the computer?
I think you can do it on the computer.
All right, well, we'll do that then. All right, order now. There he is, Sheiky, baby.
This is, I'm assuming, before the accident?
Yes. That's a good, yes.
Considering he can stand on his
Considering
own.
he can stand. This was 99, about 6 years, and this Bob Backlund at the top of the stairs. You remember him, right?
Like when Phil saw him at
Oh, geez, I got a lot of texts. If you guys are watching, I'll catch up with you in a sec. What did you say?
I said like when Phil saw him at Memorial Hall.
Phil was excited.
He was talking to me, and then he stops dead in his tracks and turns and looks at the top of the stairs, and Bob Backlund's standing there.
Well, this was a pretty good angle. Again, I would have put it on Raw leading into the event, but all right, we got $20 off, John C.
Is it I saw a thing. Are you sure it's not for convenience stores.
It says breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Your move.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, we have the last man standing match coming up, John C., for the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship, The Rock and Mankind. What a feud they had in early '99. How do you get to fucking food? Grocery? No, we don't need that. National brands. No, fuck, I'd get this. And
We gonna get the land, air, and sea.
The what?
The land, air, and sea.
The land, air. I don't know what that
It's
means.
a new thing on the McDonald's menu. It's
Oh, jeez, Jesus Christ!
it's a
What's in it? Gold?
It's a fillet of fish, McChicken, and quarter pounder, all in one sandwich.
Really?
Yeah.
No. No.
I haven't had McDonald's in years.
Really?
Yeah. Or I guess probably like more like a year.
Well, sometimes we are known to pop by in the satellite office on the way back to Marathi Hill. I don't want any of these fucking sauces. I don't want any. How do I get rid of them? It's required to choose 3. I don't want this fucking sauces. All right, well, if I got to, I got to. Oh, no.
Of course, it's not at the exact top or exact bottom. It's 3 up.
They got to make it difficult, see, for Christ's sakes. Where's French? Where do you get oh, French fries? There he is, a man that's been in this fine studio, the one and only Mick Foley, Mankind. Did you ever expect to see him as the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion? I'm glad he did. Oh, for Christ's sakes, I can't find the French fries.
I think you passed him.
Sweet treats.
Can you just get me
I feel
100
old.
packs of Splenda?
I feel old. I don't know what I'm doing.
Now you're too far up.
I couldn't find. All right, let's see.
Medium French fries.
I wanted a large.
See if you can change it to be a large.
Oh, fucking John C. What would we do without him, ladies and gentlemen?
It's a weird way to do it.
All right. Now, what do you want? You want me to go back to the home page? Championship is on the line. The Rock, his chest is covered because he had a surgery to remove his breasts.
Can you unplug that at all?
Can I unplug? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Oh, shit. Folks, we'll be back to the live chat in just a minute as we try and figure out what we want to eat. Because we are hungry people. I got to check up with these texts. You're going to get a change on 8. Did you get to change? Did you get the change on AEW? I'll hit you up. Dave, if you're watching, I'll hit you up after the watch along.
The land, air, and sea is... It's hubris.
That is absurd. It's like it's almost like Wimpy the lawyer. It's absurd and ridiculous. It is the relentless pursuit of justice. Mankind going to work on the Rock. Uber, we already used the Uber code. All right, caught up on all those messages as The Rock tries to run away from Mick Foley. Mick is going to put the mandible claw on one of his breasts after he potatoed him with about, 16 chair shots at the Royal Rumble. That was a disgrace that he'd do that to that man. Unprotected. It's amazing that his brain, I hate to say it, that he doesn't have a concussion issue, or he doesn't have any memory after that happened. That was more brutal than the Hell in the Cell, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what you guys think. Throws him into the set. Hopefully that never happens here. We'd have problems. No, he threw him through the curtain. Folks, if you're enjoying this, a super chat would help the cause so we can do more of them. We'd love to do them every night. We'd go live every night. Well, I don't know if the studio would want us here every night, but Nick took that the hard way. But I'm really looking forward to having the Berzerker with us next Sunday night. We're going to watch Royal Rumble 1992. Fridley, Minnesota's finest, is going to be here for 3 days of tapings. Cyber autograph signings. Head on over to bostonwrestling.com. We have a really cool print we had designed, an 8x10 and 11x14 poster. Oh, okay. Oh, but what did it say? We needed to order $25 worth?
Yeah.
You know what I'll do? I'll know what I'll do. Since I'm so fucking hungry.
You love your chicken nuggets, don't you?
I'm like a big kid. I don't know why you think that's so funny, but you know what? We'll take it.
No, you like your tendies. It's fine.
I'm a man that likes his chicken McNuggets. Now, see what happens? You scroll up and you scroll down and you get a different screen. Folks, I have never used Uber Eats, another first here on the watch along.
What are you looking for?
I'm trying to find let me see, maybe under individual. Oh, maybe this is it. Okay. Going big time, baby.
You're going to get rid of the 20. You're going for 40.
And then that way we'll be able to use the discount. See what I mean? You got to think, kiddo, right? Whoops, no sauce. All right. What else? Oh, required 6. Jesus. They're just giving away the sauce. Quincy would probably ask me to get the sauce and take the packets home.
So I got barbecue. I'll put some on my
Oh, you want a
sandwich.
barbecue?
Yeah.
All right. Just one?
Yeah.
All right. Barbecue. Tangy barbecue?
Sure.
All right. Get that for John C. All right. Add to order. Now, how do I get rid of the one? How do I get rid of this one? Make it remove. Ah, look at this. Baby Marathi would be proud of me. I'm not going to tell him, as then he'll say, oh, can I get something? All right, 347 Pleasant Street. Did I ever use this before?
Maybe.
Because that's the address of the old salon before they moved to Melrose. Don't get too excited, see, for Christ's sakes. So we got to edit this for sure. 360 Main Street, Melrose, MA. Oh, look at that. The studio. It even said it at the studio. Meet at the door. Should we put meet at the door?
You can just say leave it, and then once it gets here, I can run out and go, oh, super chat.
Oh, wait, what? Who's enjoying us ordering on Uber Eats?
Julian Arness.
Julian, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
I think I can see John C's scalp. Captain Lou is worse than Michael Jackson?
Yes, he is.
A lot of people are.
Well, that was an old Iron Sheik quote.
Oh.
Worse than Michael Jackson. Oh, I guess they also, you know what? I remember that now. The Courtyard fucking whatever the fuck it was in Houston. Oh, the nightmare that I had with those sacks of shit. All right.
What was it when it was like first starting?
It would have been 2020, January of 2020.
Oh, never mind. That's its peak.
All right. Now I think we got it. Now, should we do schedule or should we just let them?
How much more time is this?
This will probably run until about 9.
What's the ETA?
25 to 35.
Might be better just to wait like 10, 15 minutes and order it.
Oh. This is why we keep them around, ladies and gentlemen.
Just leave the tab open.
Fucking see. All right, let's get back to the show. As we have a hellacious battle for the... Oh, Julian, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Well, Quincy the Madman, we're expecting him back Thursday night, so get ready for that. You know you're old when it's your birthday and the candles cost more than the cake. I don't think I'm there yet, because I like the Carvel ice cream cake, and those things ain't cheap. Believe me. Are you a Carvel ice cream cake fan for your birthday?
I've never really liked regular cake.
Well, it's an ice cream cake.
Yeah,
it's not regular.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, so you do like it?
I guess I'd prefer it.
You prefer it?
Yeah.
See, I didn't like this about... I thought this was foolish, too, with The Rock doing the commentary in the middle of a championship match. If you're out there working for the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship, your eye should be on the prize, not comedy and nonsense.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
If it wasn't a title match, I can see the argument. But, from the storyline point of view, that is the ultimate in this genre, is that championship belt. Wouldn't you want to kill for that? Like Mankind is? Mankind's battling, he's going to war. The Rock is trying to cover his breasts and do comedy commentary on the headset. I don't like it. Yes, Phil, you understand the love of the Carvel cake. How long is the halftime show this year at the Super Bowl?
It's 3 hours?
It's almost as long as the game. Last year's I thought was pretty good.
Who was it?
The guy that sang the WrestleMania theme song. Weekend or something?
Oh, The Weeknd?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And there's all the things on Twitter where he's running through that weird mirror maze.
Yeah, it was cool. Beware of the Hamburglar. Well, you know what? I'm so hungry. Oh, wait a minute.
We didn't order
Charlie
any.
Wilson.
We didn't order
Your
any.
family owned 2 Carvels, Charlie? Or am I reading this wrong? I think there used to be one in Malden, but I'm pretty sure it's not there anymore.
Oh, my dad had a funny story.
About Carvel?
Yeah.
Really?
I forget what it was, though.
The Wilsons owned 2 Carvels back in the 90s. Well, why did you close them, Charlie? I missed them, brother. For
Probably
Christ's sakes.
the
They could have
recession?
opened... What's that?
It's probably the recession.
People didn't want ice cream? You scream, I scream, we all scream for ice cream. My favorite in Orlando is the Dairy Queen on International Drive. That is a must. And Linda goes out of her fucking way to make sure that I don't get it almost every time we're there.
Where?
Orlando.
Orlando.
When we go down to the amusement parks. It's like she goes out of her way. Okay, it's like 10:30. Do you want to go now? Knowing that it's closed. And I go praying and hoping maybe it's open. But no, it's closed. Where were these Carvels, Charlie? Julian wants Socko back. Well, you know what? I don't want to spoil anything, but you may be seeing him sooner than later. Look at The Rock go to work on Mankind's leg with that steel chair.
What else is that in the ring?
The stairs that they walk up. Oh, wait a minute. Phil gets his Carvels at a Market Basket. You know what? You're right, Charlie. Once they started, I can understand that. Whoa! Once they started selling them at supermarkets and such, I could see that hurting the stores. You must have been really little. Well, you know what? Mrs. Wilson continues to impress me. Mrs. Wilson is an invited guest Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall, Melrose, Massachusetts. When we go back to the 80s, Charlie, I don't know if she's interested, but she's a welcome invited guest. I have enjoyed the wisdom secondhand that you've shared from her, and I respect the fact that in addition to her regular work, which I won't get into, that she is, a wise businesswoman. A lot of respect for Mrs. Wilson. Do you have respect for Mrs. Wilson?
I've never met her.
Yeah. Well, I haven't either, but I have respect for her.
Okay.
All right. He's iffy about it. Oh, Charlie, I don't think you know how much I love those fucking cakes. I'd buy a happy birthday cake 6 months away from my birthday. I love them. But you go to the store, my God, they're, what are they, $30, $35 for the birthday cake?
At least 20.
Oh, it's much more than that. I would guess 30, 35. We'll have to ask Phil, since he goes to Market Basket. Well,
Yeah.
Mrs. Wilson is an invited guest, Charlie. That's all I'll say. Much like the Rileys, if they'd like to come on August, they can come in August too if they want, but April 16th, if the Rileys would like to come, they're invited guests. I know the Millers may be there, but you know what? Those motherfucking Lou's who got $350 seats at the last show, those motherfuckers aren't welcome. And they can tell Wimpy, because that motherfucker isn't welcome either. He can go get a hamburger somewhere and pay for it the following Tuesday. He can pay for his hamburger on April 19th. Norman, a Carvel cake, it's Carvel ice cream. It's got just this layer like an ice cream frosting on the top. It's got ice cream. Oh, you
Ouch.
guys don't know how heavy those stairs are. To have that hurled on your body,
Right
Nick
on his
must
hip.
have been so much pain the next day once the adrenaline wore off. But anyway, back to, maybe it's the Lou's. And it's got this chocolate crust inside of the fucking cake.
Yeah, like in between the
Ah!
layers. It's like little Oreo bits almost.
Yes. Almost like Lou's teeth. Very small.
Loose teeth? What?
Lou's teeth, like it's like
Oh, I
bird.
thought you said
You know
loose.
what? Charlie, maybe that's the new thing. Instead of birdseed-sized teeth, it's the chocolate Carvel crust-sized teeth.
That's
But,
so much wordier.
It is, you're right. Birdseed is easier. But I think the Carvel chocolate crust might be more accurate. They're that little. Quincy's still trying to figure it out. Oh, wait a minute. The Rock going for the rock bottom.
What is this with birdseed?
Were you here that night when he went when he
Oh, yeah.
spazzed about birdseed?
Was that the night when people kept asking about his showering habits?
No.
It's
was
not
a
the night
different
he
one.
made away with the Lime Ricky.
We're still trying to figure out that mystery. The studio needs cameras. I don't know if all of you fans at home know, but there is a missing bottle of Fabo Pop, the Green Lime Ricky. And the last time Quincy was here, Quincy was eyeing the Fabo Pop.
Yeah, see if he could have one.
So until we find it, I still think Rastani is a suspect. Charlie said if his teeth turned brown, they would look like a mini chocolate kiss. Yes, it's an ice cream cake, Norman. It's all ice cream, but it's got these chocolate crunchy things in it. And it's so delicious. And what they write the happy birthday on, it's almost like an ice cream gel.
Yeah,
Charlie, I like you and your family even more knowing that you were involved in Carvel. I would be a proud owner of a Carvel.
Are there any locations anymore?
I don't think so.
Oh, he's stepping on the mic.
There was one in Malden, not too far from where I live.
Over by,
I think it was Eastern Ave,
I'm not
near
all
the
too-
police station. Boston, how are you, buddy? I hope you're doing good.
Is he trying to induce vomiting?
That was his finisher, the mandible claw.
Oh, his fingers in his mouth.
Yeah, that's what he would do to try and make him tap out. Lou versus Dave Willis. Oh,
Who?
Dave Little Cena.
Oh,
Dave Willis would kill Lou Data. Are you kidding me? Do you know how much Dave Willis can lift? Yeah, I remember that one, Charlie. That's the one I was talking about. Mike, I would have an interest in the brawler to a certain degree. It would depend on the price. You know, you have to fly him in from Michigan. Believe it or not, the Brooklyn Brawler lives in Michigan. Hotel. That's why, guys, the Super Chats help. The Patreons help. That way we can afford to do. We could do it every week if you wanted. But it ain't cheap. We need your help, baby. Light it up. Just like Julian. If everybody did that, we'd be rocking, we'd be rolling. You're right, Julian. Lou does need to be humbled. And you know what I think is hilarious? They said I was this potential threat. I can barely walk, but I'm a physical threat to the Lou family. Yet he still has my videos all over his website.
that's the biggest part I don't understand.
If he's trying to sue me for defamation and all this other nonsense, wouldn't you remove all the content that had anything to do with me from your website? I'm all over it.
Especially because he didn't work on like 2 of them.
Yeah. Oh. Yes, there would be some Pat Patterson questions, Charlie. I need to get to the bottom of it. Simon, I'm really pleased with myself. I completed a 250-piece jigsaw in 2 weeks. It said on the box 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 for a 250-piece puzzle?
It's the age.
Huh?
It's the recommended age.
Oh.
It's a joke.
No, I couldn't see a 5-year-old putting together a 250-piece jigsaw
That's not that
puzzle.
many pieces.
Oh.
Like most of the
That was actually a good joke now that I get it. I thought he was serious. Carl, you know what? Steve says he's in great condition and so on. If he feels like I'd like to see him do maybe one more match, one more mini run for 2 to 3 months leading into a WrestleMania. This year would be perfect where the ticket sales are so poor both nights. Norman, for the right price, we can get just about anybody to come to the studio. Mean Street Posse included. Mike, I think Lou is scared of everyone. Someone sent, I think, a message on his website, and that terrified him. I don't know which one of you guys it was, but whatever that you said, hey, Julian baby! Can you briefly talk about what exactly happened with Lou and Brawler Definitely get to the bottom of Pat. Oh, so that's two different statements. Okay. With Lou, he was creatively not satisfied, I guess, with what he was doing with us. He didn't see a future in it for his AML creative, quote-unquote, business. You know, he felt like he should have been given this great compensation for his free trip to Las Vegas, where he had his air, his hotel, his banquet ticket, his membership, and a stipend for all of his expenses taken care of, for someone that has no education nor experience in video production, even though he calls himself a professional. Then after the live event we had at Memorial Hall, which is video footage, came out horrible, just like it was horrible in Las Vegas, where I don't know if he forgot to turn the microphones on or what, but as you've seen, if you've watched the Kevin Sullivan, Godfather, or D'Lo Brown interviews, the audio was the shits, and that was because of Lou. When we went to Tampa WrestleMania week last year, say what you want about Gallant stealing the lights, but he did a good job. Those interviews came out great. Lou was this supposed professional, and we had 4 days worth of interviews with D'Lo, Godfather, and Kevin that came out like shit. His footage at the wrestling event on November 13th came out like shit. Then he sent me this cowardly text message saying, I don't see this as being a part of the future of my company. And before I could even respond, he blocked me like a coward. So I had a few choice things to say on Twitter. If you follow us at MWF Project X, and I guess one of you guys sent a message to him on his website, and that's when they went to a lawyer who looks like Wimpy from Popeye, and they served me with legal papers about defamation. But after all these legal things, it said at the bottom of it they wanted to come to a resolution, because as he sent that text saying he no longer wanted to be part of what we do, it was 8 days before we were set to go to Tampa for the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. So we lit thousands of dollars on fire. We had a Verbo home rented, can't get a refund on that. 3 airline tickets purchased. We had 5 talents booked and more that were in the works. I think we advertised Tatanka, Bushwhacker Luke, Gerald Briscoe, Dutch Mantell / Zeb Coulter, Jim Mitchell was going to come back, and he fucked each and every one of them. His friend Din Fan is a good man. I respect him because he's got a set of balls. What happened in room 211 at the MGM, I don't know. But Lou has, and if Wimpy is watching this, the man with his relentless pursuit of justice, he has no character, no integrity, and no balls. And he has no talent at what he does. If you look at the work he did for us in Las Vegas, the work he did at Memorial Hall, I was told by someone at the studio, he was being texted at 2:30 in the morning. Lou videotaped a wedding and put the camera next to the speaker where they played the fucking music, and you couldn't hear anything other than the music. So he texted him, how do I get the music off the video? And the answer was simple. You can't. That's what you recorded. You sack of shit. Did I explain it well?
You explained it.
Did I explain it well?
Thoroughly.
Thoroughly. All right. All right. And you know, the sad thing is, I liked Lou. Lou could have had a friend for life. I would have been more than willing to help Lou with any of his projects and things like that. But he came to this studio last summer needing and wanting experience. He was around, what did we have at Memorial Hall on November 13th? We had NBC 10 Boston there. Did he interact with any of those people? No. I don't know if he was shy, if he was...
Did you ever end up seeing the thing that they did?
I have never seen it. I heard it was good.
I'll have to send it or show it to you.
Johnny said it was good.
Well, I mean,
it's
about him.
Beyond NBC 10 that Lou was around, he was around professional wrestlers that were known around the world, and that was one of Wimpy's points of contention. I aggressively solicited this recent college graduate. You know what? At the end of the day, he's fucking 23 years old. I don't give a rat's ass if he's a fucking recent college graduate or what. At 23, do you know how much I had accomplished in life, in the places I had been and the people I had met? Because of the king of sports professional wrestling? A lot of places. I'd already worked with WWF at the age of 23. And I aggressively solicited him like he was a 15-year-old, and I was on that fucking show To Catch a Predator on NBC. And then I aggressively solicited his friend. He introduced me to Din Fan, for Christ's sakes. I'm getting a little hot about this, John C.
Also, I don't think you'd aggressively anything Dim Fan. Maybe aggressively praise.
I liked Din Fan, because Din Fan was a man. I always liked Lou, but Lou was, you know, he was a pussy. You know what? Well, he was. You know that. I mean, the fans would butcher him on here. They called him Pocahontas. They did. They said he looked like Pocahontas.
Forgot about that.
They thought he was a woman at one point. I don't know. That's all I can
You should
say.
probably order the food now.
Phil, what's the score, brother? Let's get back to business. We have pretty much a no finish for the WWF World Championship. It's main event time here on, how was the half? I have no idea what you're talking about. We gotta place the order. Oh, you know what?
Oh, 13-17 Bengals.
Bengals are up. All
Yeah.
right. Well, one of the legends that are going to be with us on April 16th at Memorial Hall when we go back to the 80s that we haven't announced yet. I think I told you, he said Bengals 27-24.
It's not quite looking like that now. Maybe. Oh, my phone died.
Your phone died?
Yeah.
Do you need a charger?
No, I got one.
How do you have a charger? Where is it?
It's in my coat pocket.
Oh. I gotta get my card. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry I got so hot about Lou, but you know what? When someone does a super chat, we try and take care of you even more than usual. And that Lou story fires me up like no tomorrow. And you know what's the funny thing is, when Wimpy sent me the letter, he said they wanted to come to a resolution within 10 days. It's been almost a month. To show his relentless pursuit of justice, as he promotes on his website, his relentless pursuit is to fucking get a hamburger to pay for on Tuesday. He can say I'm defaming him. He defamed me, though, by calling me
Well, he didn't do it publicly, so it's not defamation.
Well, fuck him. You want to piss me off? That's what you get. You want to bother me for no reason? That's what you get. Especially after you fuck me. Fuck the Luz. Fuck Jake Roberts. Who else? Fuck Memorial Hall. Who else?
Piggott specifically?
Please.
Trying to think.
That's pretty much it. I love everybody else other than that. I love all these great fans that are with us. I love Din Fan.
Oh, they got one of those in-stadium blimps.
Yeah, that used to be a staple of WWF. They're getting the cage ready for the main event, folks. Estimated arrival time 9:05. Good. That's actually perfect. Latest arrival 9:25. Well, we can eat and then we can go home. How the fuck is it $23.43 after they put the discount through? Now we'll figure that out later.
It was like 30 before?
Yeah, it said $20 off. Well, maybe with all the, I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Fees.
I'm sure I'll get an email with the breakdown. But all right, back to you guys. Professional courtesy, Jim Sokoloff, attorney. Dan sounds like the Iron Sheik a bit. Really? Do I sound like the Sheik? Charlie Wilson is a man that is open-minded. I respect his opinion. I don't understand why he still likes Lou.
Or decimals.
Decimals.
6.5.
Oh, that's even worse than Lou. But I respect Charlie and his opinion. Charlie's someone that, you know, he's contributed a
real
lot,
oil.
and you guys don't realize it. But he's a good man. We're very lucky to have him. I wish that I got to know Charlie better when I first met him in 2015, when he refereed for us. And then he kind of just came back into our orbit last year. I don't remember how. I think maybe he messaged me one day just wanting to talk a little wrestling, and it morphed into this. Him turning into the Jim Ross of Boston Wrestling MWF. I wish someone could handle the talent relations, because I'm about done. I'm fried.
It's weird because when you guys talk, it sounds like you've known each other longer than you've known me. Even though
Oh, I've known you a lot. Well, I might have met him first, but
Yeah.
I've been around you more, I guess is probably the best way to put it. Steve Vendetta says he meant the relentless pursuit of just ice. It's winter after all. I like that, Steve. I might have to use that with him. He called, what was that term he called me again? Now I'm getting angry about
a
it.
grasping boar.
A grasping boar. A grasping boar. I'll show him a fucking grasping boar.
I don't know what that means. Grasping?
See, the thing is, and I think maybe you've realized this after a while, because you've got to know me well enough.
Uh-huh.
You know what? What's the phrase, don't poke the bear?
Yeah, let sleeping dogs lie. and
I
all
mean, have you ever known me to be anything towards you, anything but good? I know there are times I get stressed out and I get...
that. I don't think you've ever been directly mad at me in any
Right.
way.
And I'm like that with most people. If you ever read, you read the whole letter. I think I texted it to you, right?
Yeah.
When it came. I mean, some of the things they wrote in there, I couldn't believe it. It was pathetic. It was just like him. Pathetic. Weak. Unmanly. There's some quotes for Wimpy for the next letter that he sends out. 2013 Bengals. Brian Duffy, thank you very much. Username, just know I'm joking. I don't know what you mean, brother. Mike, I try and be good to everybody. You know, I don't have this on here as decor. I believe we should all try and put goodwill into the world, and goodwill will come back to us. And then hopefully, at the end of time, by my religion, hopefully what is written is true, and I get a nice vacation for eternity. I think I've earned it with all the fucking work I've put into Boston Wrestling MWF. I don't know what if you are a religious or spiritual person, John C.
Not extremely.
No, all right.
I don't know. Have you ever worn mixed fabrics?
Mixed fabrics?
Yeah, like
I don't understand.
like a cotton polyester blend.
Maybe, why?
Oh, you're fucked.
Oh, is that an un-Catholic thing to do?
I guess. Yeah, it's in there somewhere.
Dan's like one of those hippie guys from the 70s. Really? I thought hippies were kind of calm. But the thing is, I am.
Weren't when they got older.
I spend my days here 10, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, producing content. I just like to be left alone and do my thing. I don't want to sit here because I know there's some of you that'll have your remark, but I suffer from CRPS, complex regional pain syndrome. I'm in a lot of pain every day of my life at various degrees and various stages. I don't have the patience or the tolerance for a lot of shit. And when you light money that we don't have on fire, you know what? Lou isn't going to get compliments on Twitter. And neither is Wimpy, because Wimpy pestered me. Coming home to that, granted, it's not his fault. I came home to it at 1:30 in the morning, but it was like the perfect storm. If you ever could have heard how loud my typing was on the computer.
Your RGB,
To Wimpy.
Cherry MX.
It was It was almost like you with the broads at that nightclub. It was just pounding the keyboard.
Oh yes, the 100 Gex show.
Interesting history fact, folks. This is the last time, or the last month, I should say, that WCW ever did a better buy rate than WWF, which surprised me because Austin and Vince was hot, but I guess not as hot as, I believe, Hogan and Flair.
So what do you think brought about the edginess of this time period?
To be frank, they were the #1 worldwide leader in everything they did. They had a really bad rough spot in 1992 when a lot of scandals came out, steroid issues came out. From 92 to 96, the company was hurting an awful lot. Ted Turner, who owned WCW and owns TBS, I should say, he owned a wrestling company, and he decided to invest heavily in it, which brought in Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and WCW got a prime time slot against WWF's Monday Night Raw. Everyone thought WCW was going to get killed, but instead of the WWF formula, which we spoke of earlier, which was, usually one main event match, an interesting interview or an angle, and the rest of the matches were enhancement talents, just to try and make these guys bigger superstars. Mm-hmm. With Nitro, every match was a feature match, superstar against superstar. So as Raw and WWF continued to evolve, they did the same thing. But because even though the quality of WCW wasn't there, because they had a lot of older guys that were long in the tooth in the main events, they had to do something different to get attention. Stone Cold Steve Austin, D-Generation X, The Rock, taking Vince McMahon from being a commentator into the evil owner of the company, screwing with people.
With his golden egg.
Well, and one of their.
And you have to admit, he does not look like a businessman here.
No.
Like he definitely built up for.
Well, he always liked to work out, that's for sure. He may have had a little help, but anyway. And the head writer of the show, Vince Russo, was a guy that was a big fan of Jerry Springer and things like that, and
okay.
He kind of morphed that into.
I see that. That makes so much sense now that you say that.
There was a company called ECW that the Extreme Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
They kind of borrowed from that a little bit. It was a lot of things that went into it. But I think the biggest thing that helped was they made new stars. It was something new. It was something different. WCW, because they had so many top guys that would have wanted to have say in what they did, it just made for eventually a horrible presentation. For a while, WCW was white hot. They were doing monster business, but they continued to do repetitive things. When they started losing in the rating war to WWF, they started to panic, and they started to do crazy, insane things that made no sense. And that's what led to WWF buying them for pennies on the dollar. There was an offer I know of for WCW at one point around 1999 for a media company. They were willing to pay $250 million for it. When Vince bought it 2 years later, guess how much he paid?
$1 million.
$4
million?
In 2 years, it went from a value of $250 million to $4. And the best part was, I think it was $2 million to buy it, and then they had to do $2 million in television ads on TBS and TNT over the next couple of years.
Sounds like Meta this week.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Facebook, Meta?
They're changing the name?
They already did.
Well, it's still Facebook, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but this week their price in the stock market tanked.
No shit. You know who that affected?
No.
Oh,
Oh, you got.
yeah, I have my Facebook stock, and it's down over $100 from where it was. Maybe even a little more. I think it might have hit 350 at one point. You know what? Let me see. David, how are you, brother? Quincy is going to be live on Thursday night. I am about 80% sure you're going to want to tune into that. You've missed an explosive night. Julian's getting me all fired up with his super chats, but they're welcome. I'll say this, Julian, about Russo. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Russo is a guy I would have around now. He's good at coming up with ideas. He just has no idea what to do with them as a follow-up. That's why there's so many interesting angles he started that went absolutely nowhere or they sucked in their climax. Unless Vince McMahon was involved, and he would come up with, you know, for when WWF was hot, he was able to come up with some good stuff, some good conclusions to some of Russo's ideas. When Russo was left to himself in WCW, when Russo was left to himself in TNA, Spike TV canceled the show because of him. What the hell was I doing on the phone? Oh, about the stocks. I wanted to cry a little bit. Disney was at 207 in March. 207. And it's about 150 now. You're right, it is Meta Platforms. It's at 219.
Yeah, because I think
It was as high as 384.
they announced that they might even like completely shut down their service in the UK and EU.
Why?
I think it's something to do with the privacy laws getting stricter over there.
Yeah, username that. In the beginning, that was a part of it. But again, look at what happened the night they announced that Mick Foley won the title. 500,000 people went from watching
Didn't
Nitro to Raw.
WCW like announced it before it happened?
Yeah, because it was pre-taped. Super Bowl is 20-16 for those that may care. The Viagra on a pole was awesome. I don't know about that, David.
What?
Yeah, they had a match with I guess, I don't even remember who was in it, but they had to climb a pole, and there was a thing of Viagra in it.
Why?
That's why they went out of business. How the fuck do you explain that?
That's great.
I mean, WWF had done a nightstick on a pole match with that guy, the big boss man who was like a cop.
Yeah.
They had done a guitar on a pole match for a guy the guy Jeff Jarrett that played the music. You know, that had a little common sense to it. But I mean,
Why is it
Viagra on a pole? What?
Why is it on a pole?
The drama of the slow climb, and then the guy comes and pulls him down. And then they fight, and the guy's hurt.
What's the
Then he
object?
climbs
To get
to
the
try
item?
and get the object and use it on the guy.
Oh. So
Why Viagra? I don't know.
They open it and pour it down their throat?
I don't remember. David, I remember you're right. Shane Douglas and Billy Kidman. I have no idea why, what. Shane couldn't get an erection over Tori Wilson. Okay, well, now we figured it out. Thank you for that reminder of another piss-poor Vince Russo angle. I mean, it was insanity.
You don't check on
Boston, I agree with you, brother. You know, I think there's two things I've been good at in life. One of them is the wrestling business. The other thing is I think I've been a good father figure to the kids. Other than that, I can't think of much I'm good at. Can you, John C.? Can you think of anything I'm good at?
You're a good host.
Well, that's like involved in wrestling. I think I have maybe a charitable heart with all the nonprofits we work with, but even that's kind of wrestling related.
Like,
I'm not good at much. I know I've been great to those kids, and whatever role I am as a non-biological person.
what? A non-biological.
Well, I didn't
You're
plant
a robot.
I didn't plant the seed. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I didn't plant the seed, John C. I'm not like you.
I thought you were saying you were like synthetic or something. I'm like, what does that mean?
No, don't tell anyone. I'm not good at much, but I'm good at those two things. I know this business. I understand this business. I could make any wrestling company I'm involved with, I could make better. End of story. And people can say, well, look at your own body of work, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, look at the capital financially we have to work with. Pennies on the dollar, you know what I mean? If we ever had real capital behind us, the things we could do would be amazing.
We would not be at Memorial Hall.
We would not be at Memorial Hall.
That's a major plus.
But honestly, I know I can enhance any wrestling product and make it better. And for whatever reason, WWE, they know where to find me. We talk often, very often. I interact with different departments several times a month. I feel like I'm the Cousin Eddie from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I'm out in the trailer, emptying the shitter. They let me in every once in a while. They have something to eat. They're great with merchandise and tickets and helping with talent and things like that. But they just, since 2001, they haven't had a need for me. They have little projects they'll give me from time to time. I think I noted last year there were 5 talents that they owed royalty checks to that they couldn't find. And they sent me out to find them. And I got 4 out of the 5. One of them was dead. So that would have been a tough one. But yeah.
You're good at finding people.
I told you the Stone Cold Steve Austin movie premiere. They didn't have anybody in Boston to do that. So they reached out to me a week before WrestleMania 23, and I helped coordinate that. That was really an honor, to be fair. I was honored that they'd asked me to do that. They have the biggest star in the history of the biggest superstar in the history of the industry working on a project with me? Are you kidding me? Do you know how good that made me feel? So even if I never do get that quote-unquote dream job, the match is just starting right now, John C.
This is just the start?
The beginning was just a pre-match brawl. And look at everything they've already done. But,
he's in a neck brace, he's on a gurney, he got off the gurney.
You know, I would love AEW. I'd love to go down to Jacksonville if they ever had the need for someone like me that has worked in and done so much in so many different facets of the industry. Impact. I've worked with Impact before on many projects, on house shows and a fan fest, and the what was the pay-per-view? Slammiversary that they did at Agganis Arena. So for the people that aren't familiar with my resume, so to speak, that watch these talk shows, they don't know everything. They are not experts in the life of Dan Marotti. It's like John Cena Sr. People mock him. Who the hell is he to say anything? The man was in the main event of Monday Night Raw in 2007, and he promoted spot shows for Vince McMahon Sr. when it was known as the WWF in the 70s. So he's been around. He's been around. Now, has he had a full-time 30-year career? No. But he's certainly been exposed enough to have some interesting observations, as I think I have. And that's the bottom line, because Dan Marotti said so.
Brother.
John Cena Sr. will be taping with us Thursday. I'm sure we'll get a few hey brothers. Oh, this was the change that little Cena was talking about when we go to Dallas. Change planes. I'd have to look at the original itinerary. Dave, if you're watching, I did get that email from the airline. I'd have to look at the original flight.
I haven't seen him in forever.
He works so early in the morning, it's tough on him.
I get it.
I missed him. We're trying to come up with a Saturday concept for a live watch along to go along. I don't want to say what it is because it's something different than we do now, but we'll have to wait and see.
I'm going to go out and grab it.
You gonna go?
So it doesn't sit in the cold.
Oh, is it here?
It said 9:01, didn't it?
Oh, it's what's his estimate? Well, it says estimated arrival 9:01, latest arrival by 9:25.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be 9.
Kevin is headed to you now. Oh, he's 1 minute away.
Yeah.
Oh, how the fuck did you know?
I was looking at your screen.
Oh, I'm looking at my screen. What a main event we have, folks. Vince McMahon playing ping pong. And let me tell you, this man was in agony. The day after this match, Terry Taylor told the story of how they had a creative meeting, and after everybody emptied the room, Terry Taylor literally needed to pick Vince McMahon up off of his seat because he couldn't walk. That's a man that has a passion for the business. How WWE has got to where it is now financially is amazing. But as far as the creative and the interests go, how it's plummeted is just so sad. That man did so much for this industry, good and bad. Oh, wait a minute, there we go. You know Dan Marotti's going to like it when you get some color. Vince is bleeding. As he should. It's a cage. Get the color, baby. Stone Cold talking trash. One of the great feuds in professional wrestling history. I'll never forget being at Madison Square Garden live the day after my birthday in 1997 when Austin gave him one of the worst stunners that anyone ever took, when Vince just kind of flopped like a seal. There was such a great build-up to that where he stunned the universe. Did it come?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Stone Cold. Is he going to jump down and... Oh, wait a minute. Vince is giving him what I gave Lou earlier, the double middle fingers. Is Austin just going to win the match? No, he's going to go back in for more. This would be like me and Lou. Be like me and Piggott. I shouldn't say that. Someone loved her. Matt T, yes, I have heard from Marty. What are my thoughts on the 94 or 95? That was 94, Matt, when they did the double winners. I actually thought it was a great idea. There was a funny story we told. We actually did a Royal Rumble 94 watch-along within the past couple of weeks. I came up with a finish almost identical to that a couple of weeks before for something completely ridiculous. But that's a different story for a different time. But to tie it back into what someone said a few minutes ago, a couple of weeks before the Royal Rumble 94 finish, I came up with something identical in a different universe almost, which shows me, and it worked well. It was a good angle. Oh, Julian, if I ever slapped fucking Lou, it would be like that story about Rick Rude and Hawk. Lou would be down, out, and unconscious. But I'm not physically threatening anyone. I don't want Wimpy sending me another letter. I would never physically harm Lou. He's more than welcome to come to this studio if he is a member. He can just kiss my ass. Stunner from Stone Cold, a good one. Lou Data, Norman. Captain Lou Data. Khan is a complete mark and clueless. Well, you know what I think it is, Norman? There are some things about AEW every week I really enjoy, and then there's some things I see, it's like, how could you put that on national television? And there he is, the debut of Paul White, a man that was with WWE from this moment in 1999 through 2021 when he went to AEW. Fresh from WCW in the main event scene, he got a 10-year deal for $900,000 downside, and now Vince is talking trash. Vince is talking trash to Stone Cold. What do you think of this, John C.? Yeah. He was actually introduced the next night on TV as the Big Nasty. I think they got much more mileage out of the Big Show. Look at him hurl Stone Cold into the cage, through the cage, into the floor for the win. Vince thought he had it all figured out. I have to tell you, folks, I think one of the biggest mistakes in the Attitude Era was that not only was Big Show overexposed, he never should have wrestled on television every week. Andre never worked on TV every week. That's why Big Show will never be remembered like Andre. But before Big Show was castrated and was dangerous,
Literally?
and vicious, no, dangerous and vicious, Austin and Big Show should have been a WrestleMania main event, in my opinion. But within just a few months, they turned him into a fool.
So do you think anyone good can be overused?
Yeah. I think even Austin is, and Rock I was never a big fan of personally, but for those that enjoyed him, they didn't need to be on TV 52 times a year. Mm-hmm. Then when SmackDown came on, 104 times a year.
Like you said, it's like having a chocolate lava cake every day.
Right. You got to make fans want it. You got to, where's the reason to tune in? People say, oh, why does Brock Lesnar main event WrestleMania when he's only around part of the year? Because it's a great thing. You never know when he's going to show up. You know when he shows up, something's going to happen. And big things happen when he's around. Imagine if WWE could do that nowadays with their superstars. If they just rotated them throughout the year and push new people in the meantime.
Still trying to give him the finger.
Vince won't relent on that middle finger.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of this show? What did you think of the show, John C? What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I think a 7.
7?
It held my interest most of the time. China match was kind of lame.
The China match was really the only thing on this show that wasn't any good. You know, the Gold Dust and Blue Dust thing was meant.
I like it when it occasionally gets goofy.
And that's who you do the goofy stuff with, the undercard guys.
Yeah.
You don't do it with the top guys. That's what they do nowadays. They do too much comedy shit. Geez, I'm almost like Charlie. I almost want to go to a 0.5 on this one, but I will give St. Valentine's Massacre.
Do you want to say like?
There was nothing outstanding, so I'm going to give it a 7 as well. What about you guys? What do you give the show on a scale of 1 to 10? Matt T, you are correct. Pat Patterson was known to fillet.
Not like Lanny.
Not himself, others. Jarrett and Austin in 99, I don't think Jarrett was over enough to work with Austin as far as a long-term feud goes. Yeah, a 54-year-old Vince did do great, but you guys, Terry Taylor has said it in interviews. I've talked to Terry before when we were working in TNA. The horrible condition that Vince was in the day after that pay-per-view, he couldn't get out of the chair. Is it true that Jeff Jarrett is... Yes, Jeff Jarrett is married to Kurt Angle's ex-wife. Beautiful woman.
Uh-oh.
What?
On the right there.
Ah! I feel like Quincy looking at Reno. Brian Duffy, he gave it an 8 out of 10. Domingo Da Vinci, a 7.5, which is what I was thinking. But because of Charlie, I refuse to do halves. Guys, we'll stay on for another, we'll say 2 or 3 minutes. We got to eat. We're hungry. Super chats are welcome for all our hard work. We got the Berzerker coming in for 3 big expensive days. We got to fly him. We got to put him in a hotel. We got to pay him for being here. We got the studio expenses. Come on, guys. That super chat, baby. I hope you guys are ordering your Berzerker autograph photos. Phil DeCesare with the 8. I know Phil DeCesare is excited about the Berzerker being here live with us. Because Phil DeCesare is going to be here live with us, which is going to be...
Are you going to try to get Quincy with him?
We're hoping Quincy will be here on the Sunday version.
Oh, thank God.
Why?
Then I'll be here.
Oh, right, because the Monday you got to work.
For the third time.
I'll remember eventually, right? Guys, here's... Oh, Julian, thank you, buddy. Here is the Berzerker link to order your exclusive print and other photos we have. Next Sunday and Monday live. Julian, can you quickly give your thoughts on CM Punk? I feel like it's tough to take him seriously after his UFC stint, but he still seems to be popular. You know what, Julian? I look at it like this. I was never really the world's biggest CM Punk fan, but does my opinion of him change because he lost in UFC? No. I mean, it's almost like an actor in a different role in a movie, different movies, maybe. You know, Clint Eastwood always wasn't with Dirty Harry or whatever. No. Arnold Schwarzenegger did more than play Terminator, you know what I mean? You know, Brock Lesnar lost in UFC. Granted, he was suffering from an illness at the time.
John C. Reilly is in both Step Brothers and Check It Out with Dr. Steve Brule. That's a venomous snake, though.
It sure is. That's my bank account. Why isn't John C. versus Quincy booked for shampoo?
I couldn't hit Quincy.
For shampoo on a pole. Who do you think is the best heel in the business right now? Roman Reigns, without a doubt. Julian, back to your question, though. No, I don't think him losing in UFC hurts. I don't think it helped, but I don't think it hurts. Was Lesnar any less over because he lost in UFC after he suffered from that illness? I don't think so. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinions, but people chanted for the better part of what? When did he leave WWE? 14? For the better part of 7 years, people chanted CM Punk at WWE events. He was as over as Rover, and he's going to continue to be. There is a fan base that loves CM Punk in everything he does. I'm not the world's biggest CM Punk fan, but you know what? That's what's great about wrestling. There's variety to it. There's people in AEW I may love that people hate compared to how much they love CM Punk. It's just a matter of opinion. It's subjective. That's one of the great things about the industry. You know, I like to think I know a little bit more because I've been around for so long, but, you know, like I said, while Punk may not be my cup of tea, I understand why he's over to the fan base he's over to, and if the fans are willing to support him and spend money on him, it's great for the industry. It's great for the business. That's what it's about. It's not about WWE versus AEW.
HBK?
Hey, brother. It's not about WWE versus, I don't even know who's left, Impact. It's about WWE and Impact. It's about WWE and AEW. It's about AEW and Impact. It's about, what it should be about is growing the entire industry like a forest so everybody's successful, so we can cultivate new fans to participate in what we do. It's about trying to bring all of those millions and millions and millions and millions of lapsed fans that have gone away and get them interested in the product again. That's what it's about, because when everybody's successful, everybody wins. I know the Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars, the money wasn't what it is now, but I mean, everybody was successful. Everybody was doing good. It was creating jobs. The industry was growing. There were new fans. The average age for WWE at one point was in the teens. Now it's in the median age range, I believe, is around 50. We got to get young fans involved in what we do. That's like with our own Back to the 80s concept. Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose. VIP packages and tickets on sale now at bostonwrestling.com. The goal, it's simple. I'm going to talk a little out of character, so to speak. We have all of these great 80s WWF legends coming in to try and hook the people, but at the end of the night, what we have to do to get them to come back is give them a great professional wrestling show. That's the science behind it. Is it going to work? Who knows? We're spending a lot on advertising. I know that. But bring in the legends, meet the past, relive your childhood, however you want to look at it, and then see the stars of today and tomorrow. Just look at some of the guys that we've used on the past couple of Boston Wrestling MWF events at Memorial Hall that have gone on to WWE and AEW. Cole Carter, who was in the main event of our 20th anniversary show, he just signed with WWE. Christian Casanova, look at how great, fucking fantastic he's doing, how great he looks on WWE NXT right now. Brian Pillman Jr. wound up with AEW. Matt Seidel, Evan Bourne wound up with AEW. Vicky Guerrero, Mark Henry, they went to AEW. So there's a lot of great young talent that we use that are going places. It's sad because the frustrating part is when you don't want to lose them. I don't want to see Cole Carter go away. I didn't want to see Christian go away, but it's great for them because they're going to become, if they work hard and they have the right creative behind them, household names, making big 6- and 7-figure deals every year. That's what everybody wants. So, I don't know, I think I'm kind of rambling right now, but I think hopefully what I said made sense to you, because I kind of lost track in my brain of what I've been saying. It's been a long week with everything that went on with Jake Roberts and Jim Duggan. I implore you to visit the YouTube channel for some videos on that. So I think it's time to take it home, baby.
Okay.
You're going to hit that magic button?
Yep.
So I thank all of you guys that came and hung out with us on a snowy, is it still snowing?
Yeah, it stopped for a bit, but it started again.
On a somewhat snowy Super Bowl Sunday. The Super Chats are appreciated. If you order your Berzerker John Nord autograph photos, those are appreciated. If you sign up for Patreon at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling, it's appreciated. If you get a great collectible in the Boston Wrestling eBay store, link in the description box below, it's appreciated. But you know what? If you don't have 10 cents to spend, you being here with us is appreciated because you're great wrestling fans. One thing anyone can do, and it doesn't cost you a penny, like, share, subscribe. Whatever those algorithms are on YouTube, it helps an awful lot. We need to keep boosting the numbers. We need to keep growing, growing, growing. We got a lot of people we want to bring in for Wrestling Insider talk shows. John C., you tell me when you're ready, baby. Give me one clap when you're ready and then a second when we're off. All right, wrestling fans, that's about it. Until we speak again, I guess we're going to see. Remember, Tuesday we have the all-day John Nord Berzerker Marathon. Thursday night, Quincy Rastani will be live. Next Saturday, Elimination Chamber watch-along live. Next Sunday and Monday, the Berzerker will be live. Until we see you then, folks, you and yours, be well, be healthy. Thank you.